Hello everyone and welcome back to day one of the Donna Adelson trial happening in Florida. 11 years in the making and the fifth person facing some major time if convicted, right? I hope that you had a good lunch break on this lovely Friday that we're watching this trial together, August 22nd of 2025. During the lunch break, I decided to be productive and just quickly look again at the state's witness list. I've, printed this one out. So I just want to go through a few things here because some of the names I recognize, but I couldn't remember what is their role again. So I had to just go and remind myself. And so I wanted to tell you that, for example, if we go to, we've seen Dr. Anthony Clark, right? Okay. And if we go to, so Charlie Adelson, take the stand, although I think he'll lie for his mom. I don't know. Rob Adelson, the estranged son, can't wait to see that. Wendi Adelson, let's see what she says. Drina Bernhardt is actually an inmate with a jail informant who's turning against Donna Adelson. Donna called her my jail daughter. And this person is being offered, perhaps, from what I've heard, less time if she testifies against Donna. And so that could be happening. And the defense has obviously tried very hard to get her testimony out. But it seems like just from what we heard in opening statements, which is all on the playlist for you if you're watching from the future or you're watching now, you missed the opening statement. Yeah, it's all on the playlist. It's linked in the description box for you. But from what we heard there, I think that they're going to bring that testimony in. And then this Patricia Bird, I believe she's also a jail informant. Very interesting. Also, okay, so we've seen Dr. Anthony Clark, and then Ryan Fitzpatrick. This guy he called himself Charlie's former best friend, and he also did some business with Charlie Adelson. Charlie Adelson on jail call said, no, he's not my best friend. Like, I hardly even know this guy. Like, I saw him like 2 times, whatever. Okay, Charlie, but yeah, that guy could take the stand, Ryan Fitzpatrick. A lot of these have testified before at like Charlie Adelson's trial and other trials, but the jail informants those are new ones, and then Rob Adelson is a new one as well, right? Okay, and then, so Sigfredo Garcia, that would be interesting. That's, of course, the trigger man, the one who shot Dan Markel on July 18th of 2014. Dan Markel was only 41 years old. Jim Geiger, we already heard from. And if we just go here to Mary Hull, this lady here is a forensic accountant. And I think it's going to be even more interesting to hear. Now, we've heard from her before in other trials, not that we covered it. Like as a community, this is the first time in this case that I'm covering a trial, right? But she testified at Charlie Adelson's trial, and yeah, I think she's got a lot of financial tea to spill. All those transactions going back and forth. Then Erica Johnson she worked at the front desk at the dental practice at the Adelson Institute. And she loved working for the Adelsons. And so, yeah, hearing from her will be interesting as well. Tara Kawas, she was Katherine Magbanua's defense attorney. And then Jeffrey Lacasse, Wendy's ex-boyfriend. I think his testimony is always interesting. And then Clarissa Libredo, she worked at the Adelson Institute as well. James Lewis is Sigfredo's defense attorney, Sigfredo Garcia's defense attorney. Of course, Katherine Magbanua, LWAP as well. Let me actually put this picture up. Wait, is it this picture? That's not the picture. Hold on one second. I want to get it for you. We're still waiting for them to come back from lunch, by the way. Okay, they're coming back from lunch. Quickly, hold on. They're coming back. I just quickly want to read this to you, okay? We'll just be like a minute or two behind. So there's the graph of everyone. David Marcus. Wait, let's go to this next page. So we heard from Joanne Maltese already. David Marcus was Charlie's defense attorney. Keith McElveen, a forensic audio engineer. And then Ramsey Neighbor, he was a Club Fate owner. And Waldo Nunez, a state trooper and he worked at Comfort Rent-A-Car. So that's going to be interesting as well. Shodrick Nobles, he sold some substances to the Hitmen. Then we've got, coming up from the state, Dr. Jerome Obed, a dermatologist and Charlie's former roommate. Scott Radius, a friend of Charlie. And also this Scott Radius guy is going to be interesting because apparently he had a timeshare investment in Vietnam with Charlie Adelson. And we know that Donna booked a one-way flight to Vietnam. So, ooh, tell us everything, right? Wow, that's going to be interesting as well. Then we've got Luis Rivera and all these other names here. I'm just highlighting some here for you. Jessica Rodriguez, the ex-girlfriend of Luis Rivera. Lisa Shelby, an FSU interim associate dean who worked then with Dan Markel. This guy called Robert Swartz, he was a Geek Squad worker who was fixing, Wendy's TV the day that Dan Markel was shot. And that is quite interesting because, of course, Donna Adelson planned it for that day. And then we've got June Umchinda, Charlie's ex. Yindra Velasquez Mascaro was Katherine Magbanua's childhood friend. Stephen Webster was Dan Markel's attorney. And then another very interesting witness could be Sarah Youssef, who is a defense attorney. And she's a former close friend of Wendi Adelson. And she didn't like how Wendi was saying Danny got whacked. She found it very cold, very calculated, and just saying Danny got whacked, right? And so she said that Donna also said that Dan Markel was a jerk. And so she actually reached out to the Markels and offered to help them with the grandparents' visitation law efforts, which she's still apparently trying to help the Markels be able to see their grandkids, as in, Dan Markel's children. Tina said, I love your broadcast the most. I enjoy your commentary and that you boost the sound. No one else does it that, and you could barely hear a thing. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. Okay, so let's bring up the court feed because now they're returning from lunch. Thank you so much to everyone who's coming back here to watch with me. And there we go. If you missed the trial prep, I hope you'll go check it out. And here we are. Okay, so the sound is not yet on. What are they doing? Oh, all that rush for nothing. Shh. The judge just appeared quickly, and now there was no sound, and then I came back. So let's just see what's going on. The lunch break. Okay. Let me quickly see what you guys voted on the poll. If you're watching live with me, I said, what do you think of Donna's emotion in the courtroom? 79% said fake, performing for the jury. 7% said real, she is clearly very upset. And 14% said not sure yet. Joe J. Croft said, hi Gisela, Mods and Grizzlies. You all make me believe in a better world. Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for being a member for 32 months. During my break, I also was just checking, oh my goodness, the stickers from the previous stream. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. If you bought a sticker there, that's amazing. And for sending coffees to me and the mods. I see you guys are spoiling the mods as well. I really appreciate that. And also to somebody, hold on one second. We're just waiting for the court to come back. So hold on one second here. To Kelly, thank you so much for sending me a PayPal gift. That is so sweet as well. Ashley, welcome back. Nice to have you back at the stream. Thank you for your sticker. Okay, so far we've heard from, today on day one, we have heard from, okay, firstly we heard the state's opening statements. Absolutely brilliant, right? You think so? Sarah Catherine Dugan. Do I say Dugan or Dugan? I can't remember now. Ooh, I want to say it right. She did the opening statements and it was absolutely brilliant. And we've heard from James Geiger, the neighbor of Dan Markel, who went to check out, what was happening, and he called 911. We heard from David Sims, a retired sergeant from the Tallahassee Police Department, Joanne Maltese as well. And then now we're busy with Dr. Anthony J. Clark, who performed the autopsy on Dan Markel on July 19th of 2014. We know that Dan was shot on July 18th of 2014. Okay, so they are back. Now we just wait for the sound to come back on. Donna's got her glasses off. Okay.
That's fine. Go ahead.
To break the defense advised, they've got some objections to my exhibit that I intend to introduce with this next witness. Case Exhibit 64 is a female exhibit. It's a composite. And I haven't had time to look at all the ones they they're objecting to, but I know the first one is marked as State's Exhibit 64A. Yeah, Coach.
Email.
This is an email initially from Donna Adelson to Wendi Adelson, and Wendi replied March 28, 2011. It includes content in paragraph 3. There's a discussion of Dan and his parents attempting to spend time with the kids and knowing that is to Mrs. Adelson. You can read what it says. Defense is objecting to that.
Did Donna apply more makeup during her break? That's okay. You do what you gotta do, Donna. It just looks like she like contoured her nose and put more lipstick on. Even her eyebrows are done, you know what I mean? I touched up my lipstick because I had some sushi. Mandy, Perth, Australia, you said thank you, G, for all your hard work. Thank you so much for being a member for 19 months.
Item on relevance grounds. Relevance is that Mrs. Adelson hated the victim and that hatred extended to his parents as well.
Ms. Fulford.
This is while they're still together, Judge. This is 2011. It has nothing to do with Danny. It was a derogatory comment made by my client regarding Danny's parents. Wendi made comments and Mrs. Adelson made comments, and they're not relevant to this case. This is while Danny and Wendi are still together.
As to whether your client had any animus towards the deceased, is there a time period where it has to be within the divorce?
It's not animus towards the deceased. I'm talking about the comments towards his parents.
Spill the tea. We want to hear all of it. Now we get a good, good close-up. Yeah, this makeup has definitely been touched up, and there's nothing, we can't really draw a conclusion from it. It's just an observation. But Nina said, well, the sad face did not fly, so she's pulling out the look how pretty I am, and how could you think I'd ever do such a thing? Look. Yeah, okay, so there she is.
Kathleen, as it relates to the comments going towards the parents.
I think it's relevant, Judge. Goes toward motive. She did not want these children to be with the father and with the father's family. She wanted them with her and her family. And that's what happened.
That's not what this email says.
Right. That's not what the email said. It's not a confession to murder. It's a expression of dislike, which just goes to the motive.
If only our eyes could see what the judge was seeing right now. Thank you, Vaughn. Marinda said, G, jy is nog steeds my gunsteling. Baie dankie vir jou harde werk. Jy is a ster. That means, G, you are still my favorite. And thank you for your hard work. You are a star. Thank you so much. So they had a lunch break, and now they're just arguing about what will be allowed in or not. The defense does not want a message or an email between Donna and Wendi in.
Much of this email does lack.
Because it predates the murder. But yet it sounds like they were saying terrible things about Dan Markel and his family.
Relevance or probative value for the jury. However, Ms. Kappelman, does this tie into other messages which otherwise would demonstrate the motive you're trying to prove? Or is this a standalone item?
I I mean, there are other emails that express similar sentiments. I don't think they're specifically tied to the visit that's referenced in that particular email.
Are you arguing then that the defendant had a consistent animus towards the deceased?
Oh, yes.
Very well. Over objection, I will permit it only on the grounds that it shows that the defendant had a consistent animus towards the deceased or his family. However, if the defense is asking for a limiting instruction as to this evidence, you may request it now.
Yes, Donna, they're letting it in. Yeah, we want to see how ugly you spoke about your former son-in-law before the murder even happened. Yeah, and his parents. Jackie said, hi, Gia, I finally caught you live. Last live was with the Maxwell Anderson trial, the Sade Robinson case. You said, thank you for your awesome coverage. Thank you so much.
If we're asking, yes, we would ask for limiting instruction. This is not directed towards Danny Markel. I mean, if you take a look at it, Mrs. Adelson is complaining that Danny and Wendi have to schlep the boys down to see his parents instead of them driving up to see the boys. It has nothing to do with trying to keep the boys from the family. So I'm not sure what limiting instruction would be effective, but this is as to it doesn't express any animus to Danny. So I'm not sure what the court would suggest.
Or his family.
The state's theory is not hatred towards Danny Markel's family. And so I'm
Ms. Kaplan,
confused.
as to the state's theory, please clarify this issue.
State's theory includes that Mrs. Adelson hated all things Dan Markel, and all things Dan Markel needed to be erased from these children's lives, including the grandparents. Now, I know Your Honor has precluded me from mentioning visitation with the grandparents and things like that, but obviously that's always been a part of the state's theory. I understand that I'm limited from including that, but it is important to show that this animus existed as far back as 3/28 of 11. And this is the first item in the exhibit because it goes back the furthest in time. I think it's important.
We're not going to be wasting a lot of time on this back and forth. This is the point of pretrial motions. On this point, as it relates to the state's theory of the case, that the defendant had animus towards the deceased or his family, it will be permitted on those grounds. If the defense is asking in some way for a limiting instruction to be given, please request it now.
Yes, Your Honor.
Quick pause. Ashley, yes, her eldest Robert is going. He's on the witness list.
The limiting instruction that is requested.
Your Honor, I'm at a loss. I think that an instruction that, this doesn't show hatred towards Danny. So again, I'm not sure. Obviously, I disagree with the state's argument concerning this. So I'm open to suggestions.
Be considered for the defendant's state of mind as it related to the deceased or his family.
I would ask that it be related to the deceased's family. Because it's not to do with the deceased.
Ms. Katherine. Very well. Down.
There's 5 more items, Judge.
Let's go through them.
Yes, sir. State's Exhibit 64D is an email dated 10/26/12. May I approach?
You may.
This email is from Donna Adelson to Wendi Adelson, showing her a list of prospective love interests from the website that Mrs. Adelson has identified as potential matches for Wendi. It's offered to show how controlling Donna Adelson was over her children's lives, how much she inserted herself into their private lives. And again, she likes to be in control of who they date and who they marry.
Response.
Judge, this is not an email from my client, Wendi Adelson. This is an email from Match.com to the email address that my client has. It doesn't say anything, the copy I have at least, doesn't say anything at all about Wendi Adelson.
Okay, I'll replace it with a copy that shows the email heading on the top, Judge. It's my fault.
And this was her forwarding this or actually including some sort of message?
She forwards it. I'm not sure if she included a message. She definitely did on the next one, which is also subject to defense objection. It states Exhibit 64I. I'll approach with that as well. Related.
What's the date on that?
What's the date on that, Ms. Kaplan?
1/17/13 today on Exhibit 64I.
Okay, I see too many questions. Here's my banner, jury not present. So even though they came back from lunch, they haven't called the jury back in because they've got matters to discuss outside the presence of the jury, which is the defense objecting to this evidence coming in, which are emails and messages between Donna Adelson, the defendant, and her daughter, Wendi Adelson. Wendi was married to Dan Markel. They got divorced, and it was a contentious divorce, and it really is at the core of this case. Donna wanting her grandkids closer to her and at all cost, right? So here she is now on trial. So she's accused of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and solicitation to commit murder.
All right. As to any questioning of Wendi Adelson as the role her mother played in her life, including screening potential romantic interest, that question certainly can be asked, but as to an exception to hearsay, what is being offered concerning this?
The relevance of it, or
Yeah.
the exception to hearsay is
Well,
a statement of a
both.
party. Relevance is that Mrs. Adelson was very controlling and micromanaging in their children's lives, particularly in their love lives, which directly relates to the motive to this offense.
This is the victim Dan Markel's mother, Ruth, sitting here.
Right.
Eliminated Mr. Markel. You get it, you get the idea.
I just can't understand how this would be material to this case in any way, anything that the state has to prove. That, you know, it's not, we just want to bash her reputation or what she did. They got to prove criminal offenses against her. How does her being on Match.com while she's living with her daughter have anything to do with something the state has to prove here? Nothing.
I believe this once again goes to the issue of motive. I understand the defense's position that you disagree. As to this motion, or excuse me, as to this item, this is you said 64I.
64D and I, Your Honor.
Right. As to whether the defendant in any way possessed a motive concerning Wendi Adelson, or excuse me, as it related to the deceased in controlling who Wendi Adelson may have sought as a romantic interest. Ms. Kappelman, do you have other evidence that's going to tie that to this particular item?
I I do have other evidence that Mrs. Adelson was just on the wire speaking about Wendy's love life and her current love interest and who she wants her to date, and discussing with Charlie Adelson, wanting Charlie to intervene with Wendi and encourage her to date a certain person. So I do think it is a theme that reemerges with other evidence.
Well, as the state of mind and motive, I will permit this evidence to be given over objection. However, as to the foundations for these things, Ms. Kappelman, they'll have to be laid through the appropriate witnesses.
All of these items came from a search warrant executed on Wendi Adelson's Google account.
Yes, we want to know everything from the Google account. Uncle Google's gonna get you. Nana Junkin, thank you for being a member for 32 months. You said, Grizzly, I'm going to say it. You are the GOAT. Oh, thank you so much. The greatest of all time. Oh, thank you so much. Also, by the way, they are busy discussing here emails and messages between Donna and Wendi. They said 10/26/12. So the 26th of October of 2012. Let's quickly look at this timeline. On September 12th of 2012, so August, September, October, a month before, while Dan Markel was away on a business trip, Wendi moved out of their shared home in Tallahassee with the kids and most of their possessions and filed for divorce. She just put the divorce paper on the bed, and when Dan got home, he found the divorce papers in an empty house, and he's like, what the hell? So a very contentious divorce started. And so let's just quickly look here. The divorce was finalized on July 31st of 2013. So really, I think this is relevant because it's between the time from when the divorce was filed and granted. And it was very contentious, and it's part of, as the judge just said, the motive for this murder, right? Okay, let's just see what they decide though.
The next item, Judge, is just a moment to locate this. I believe it's 64W, an email dated June 27th of 13. And the objection in this case relates to the characterization of Judge Hobbs as can't find the quote, but something like a Southern black lady. They just were proposing redacting that. Find the page for Your Honor. It's page 2 of that email. I'll give you 1 and 2. Second page, 2/3 of the way down in the second paragraph, mention of Judge Hobbs. There's no particular relevance to that characterization of Judge Hobbs, so I just don't think it's prejudicial, so I don't know why we're redacting. Whatever Your Honor thinks on that one, Judge.
Folks.
I believe the jury could take that as in a very derogatory way. It has absolutely nothing to do with this case, that comment. Nothing. Unless there's another motive I don't know about.
If in some way, since we do have 2 jurors of African American descent that would otherwise impute on the defendant a negative character trait, I will permit the redaction for that reason. Beyond that, the item will be admitted.
Next, Judge, is an email dated April 7th, 2015.
Oh, Donna, she's definitely shape-shifting a bit. She's got a different look on from the morning, hey? Hills Lifestyle said, Sawabona, Grizzly and the Grizzlies, and same to you.
that's referenced here is 64HH.
Carrie, let me boost it a little bit, okay?
Yes, sir. May I approach?
Okay.
May I have the other exhibit? Judge, this email is an email regarding Wendi moving, and the evidence is going to show that she moved from a more secure location to a less secure location, so the relevance is sort of going to have to be developed as the trial goes on, but the idea is that there was no fear for Wendi's safety.
What's the date?
That email is dated,
7/15, I believe, is the last date in the chain.
thank you.
If you have to start the foundation with one witness but enter at a later point, that is certainly appropriate. What is the objection?
Well, Judge, I have a question. The email that I'm looking at that was provided to us on July the 15th, 2014 is to Jeff Lacoste from Wendi Adelson.
I believe these are from David Trafton at MiamiRealEstate.com.
That's not what we were given.
Can I show the exhibit to the test?
Please do.
I wonder if anyone else will be sitting here eventually, because they're reserved, I think, 2 rows for Donna, meaning her friends, family. But here we have Harvey Adelson, her husband, and that's about it for now.
Email that we've been handed is April 7th, 2015, 4:42 p.m. This is regarding Wendi moving. It had the same security as where she was living with her mother, so less secure. There's nothing in here that indicates that.
Trouble.
I'm going to ask Ms. Adelson about that. My understanding is it is less secure. They're asking lots of questions, but they're not about security. They're being actively extorted under threat for their lives. One would expect and would inquire about such a thing.
You may lay the foundation, or at least begin to lay the foundation for that item with when that witness is examined. Going back to the last trial in this matter, when the intent instruction was given, the intent with which an act is done is an operation of the mind, and therefore is not always capable of direct and positive proof. It may be established by circumstantial evidence like any other fact in the case. Specifically, as counts 2 and count 1 that are charged in the indictment deal with aspects of intent. I'm going to find evidence that demonstrates the defendant's alleged motive, which goes specifically to intent, is admissible. One thing, though, that is starting to trouble me with those. We had many motion hearings in this matter, and we've continued this case several times to handle these matters pre-trial. Why is this coming up now?
The exhibit that we were provided with, I went through thoroughly and had all of my objections listed, and then was told that's not correct. It's another binder. It's different emails. The binder I was handed by the state was completely discombobulated, not in date order. It was a train wreck.
As the state's exhibits you're referring to.
That's correct. And so then they provided us with this binder. It appears to maybe still be missing something, but they have a list, an exhibit list, everything laid out by date, by exhibit A, all the sub-exhibit numbers. So that's why, Your Honor.
We're not going to waste the jurors' times. At this point, we're 30 minutes behind where we should have been. Are there any other matters that need to be addressed?
There's one more that I asked for, Judge. It's dated April the 20th of 2016, and it's an email about whether one of the children is sad.
64II, Judge, is an email specifically in which the defendant is claiming that the child cannot be sad about the death of his father. Extremely relevant.
I agree. I like this judge. Snarky, punctual, reminding everyone, why is this coming up now? We're 30 minutes behind. Let's not waste the jury's time.
Probative value is outweighed by the undue prejudice, Your Honor.
Yeah, Cake on YouTube said, so it's out of order or is it missing evidence? Yeah, which one is it? And it sounds pretty relevant to me if the defense wants it out so badly.
This compliment, again, the purpose this is being offered for is going to motive or state of mind.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the undue prejudice the defense is arguing concerning this particular email?
The undue prejudice is what the state is arguing, and they're going to argue to the jury, is that this email says that Donna Adelson said he could not be sad about his father. What she's describing is her time with the child, and she hasn't seen him sad. And it's 2 years after, unfortunately, Mr. Markel was killed.
Ms. Kappelman, if you wish to proffer the testimony from the witness on this, I'll allow you to do so out of the presence of the jury, but this one is seeming a bit attenuated.
That Mrs. Adelson.
In commenting on how the child is sad.
Sure, Judge, but it relates back to the motive and thinking that it wouldn't harm the children. It was going to be good for the children to get rid of their father. Children have no memory prior to this young age that the father was killed. I think it goes to motive, Judge.
That, I'll allow you to set up your foundation within parts if you need to do so. I'll revisit whether this item can be admitted at that point.
Sir, there's one item that I've added today in light of the opening statement regarding Mrs. Adelson's use of the Skype to facilitate visitation with the father. It's dated December 18th, 2013. It has been previously provided. It's now marked as State's Exhibit AA.1. While the defense is looking that over, I also have a stipulation of the parties may approach.
Okay.
This will be the first thing. I'd like to have Your Honor read this to the jury as soon as they come back in.
Tracy said, her facial expressions are so horrendous, all right?
circle back to that. With that, stipulation, we're ready. There's no other issues.
Right, as to 64, I believe D and I did rule over motion that these can be admitted with a proper foundation. As to I believe that's the item that the state is going to, 64II, I should say, that's the item the state is going to attempt to lay the foundation for as it relates to motive in this matter.
Yes, sir, I found the relevant portion. It reads from Donna to Wendi here. I'm sorry, from Wendi to Donna. Dear Mom and Dad, here is the phone/Skype plan for the holidays. And she's forwarding a Skype plan from Dan Markel. Please help me do this. It means less stress for me if we just follow it.
I don't know what the relevance of that is. Wendi Adelson sending an email to her mother because her mother takes care of the children very frequently and saying, here's the schedule, let's do this. It doesn't say Mrs. Adelson has not done it.
I think it suggests that Mrs. Adelson has not done it, or at least that there's been issues and problems with Skype and facilitating Skype. It was satisfactory to Mr. Markel, so I would ask to admit it based on the statements made in the opening statement by the defense.
Well, the opening statement is not evidence. The jurors are not considered as such. As to any foundation that you wish to lay for that particular item, that it was not previously followed, and now Wendi Adelson sent that item to her mother, you'll need to establish the foundation first before it's offered. Please bring in the jurors.
Okay.
Are offered, the limited instruction will be given.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, we can go forward a little bit.
When the parties agree that certain facts are true, that is called a stipulation of fact. You must accept stipulated facts as having been proven. However, the significance of these facts, as with all facts, is for you to decide. In this case, the stipulated fact that you must accept as true is the projectiles contained in State's Exhibits 122 and 123 were examined microscopically by a firearms expert from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and were determined to have been fired from the same revolver. Ms. Kappelman, you may call your next witness.
Thank you, Judge. The state calls Craig Isom.
Like, was the medical examiner done from the first part? You know, at the beginning of the day, I thought that he would maybe come back, maybe later. But okay, new witness.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I do.
You may take your seat. Please speak loudly and clearly for the jurors.
Please introduce yourself and spell your name.
Craig Isom, Craig Isom.
How are you employed?
I'm currently retired.
Congratulations. Where did you work when you worked?
Sent to Tallahassee Police Department.
How long were you with the Tallahassee Police Department?
28 and a half years.
Were you assigned to investigate the murder of Dan Markel?
I was.
How long did Dan Markel live after being shot?
I believe my understanding was around approximately 11 hours.
As part of your investigation, were the people closest to the victim interviewed,
Yes.
including his ex-wife, Wendi Adelson?
Yes.
When and where did you approach Wendi Adelson?
She was at a restaurant in Tallahassee on Market Street.
What time What date and time did you approach her at the restaurant?
That was on the day of the shooting, which was July 18th, 2014. July 18th, 2014. It was approximately 2:15 in the afternoon.
All right, so approximately 3 hours and 50 minutes after the shooting?
Approximately, yes.
What did you say when you approached her?
I told her that I needed to discuss something with her in private. She was with 2 other individuals at the table.
2 ladies having lunch?
3 total, yes.
All right, and when you told her that you need to speak with her, were you wearing police insignia? Did you identify yourself as law enforcement?
Immediately before I identified myself and said that I was there for the purpose of speaking with Wendi Adelson.
Okay.
And I had my badge on. I was readily identifiable as a police officer.
All right. And did you reassure her that she wasn't in any trouble? Did you?
Yes, I got her to step away from the table she was eating at, approximately 10, 15 feet out of earshot of the other 2 individuals that were sitting at the table. And I told her that I needed to discuss with her something that happened with her ex-husband and that her children were not involved. I reassured her because the children had already been checked on, they were still at the daycare, and they were fine.
As part of this approach of Wendi Adelson, were there any handcuffs involved?
No.
Any Miranda rights read?
No.
Any use of force at all?
No.
She was not detained or under arrest?
No.
At any time did you tell her she was a suspect in anything?
No.
Was she a suspect in anything at that moment?
No.
At any time during your interview, did you do anything that would treat her as a suspect?
No.
In fact, you told her several times in the interview that she was not a suspect. Isn't that right?
I did.
Did you ever accuse her of anything?
No.
Did you provide her with a victim advocate?
Yes.
Is that something that your office typically does for next of kin when a tragedy has occurred?
Yes.
Did you allow her to access her phone during the interview?
Yes.
What did you learn about the victim's relationship with his ex-wife, Wendi Adelson?
They had gone through it and were still fighting in a contentious divorce
I'm going to show
regarding
you
child custody.
with child custody.
Including child custody.
All right, I'm going to approach with state's demonstrative A. Have you had an opportunity to review this exhibit before today?
Yes.
What is that exhibit?
It's all of the filings from the divorce case between Wendi Adelson and Daniel Markel.
Starting with the petition for divorce and ending at the time of his death. Is that right?
Correct.
And the filings in here, have you had an opportunity to review them?
Yes.
All right, and did this litigation include arguing over things so petty as a tennis racket?
It did.
Objection, Your Honor. Nothing's been entered into evidence, and we would object to a witness testifying to the contents of the file.
Overruled, the witness may testify concerning his personal knowledge of the investigation.
Thank you, Judge. As part of these proceedings, did Wendi Adelson seek to relocate with the children from Tallahassee to South Florida?
She did.
Did she say why she wanted to relocate to South Florida?
Objection, hearsay.
Staying the answer to the call for hearsay unless you have an exception.
I'm going to show you what I've marked as State's Exhibit 60. Have you had an opportunity to review State's Exhibit 60?
Yes.
Are those the portion of the divorce filings contained in State's Demonstrative A that can be directly linked to Donna Adelson?
Yes.
Meaning she saw those items.
Yes.
Objection, lack of foundation.
I believe that's what Ms. Kaplan is doing right now. Overruled. You may continue, Ms. Kaplan.
Move into evidence, State 60, Your Honor.
Please approach.
Oh dear. Sidebar time. I know the defense is doing their job, but the harder they try for this to not be in, the more I want to see it, right? Do you also feel like that? We want to hear everything now. That's right, Donna. We want to hear everything. We can go forward a little bit. Now we're almost all caught up. Okay, we're all caught up. Bert's mom, UK, said she's crying for herself. I missed the poll. Majority voted that they think that Donna, 79% said you think she's crying for herself or performing for the jury, or, you know. Right now she wasn't. She was just doing that this morning. Donna is wearing headphones because she said in jury selection she's hard of hearing and she would like to wear this throughout the trial. So this is the 5th witness so far. The trial is expected to last 2 to 3 weeks. The state intends to call up to 58 witnesses. I wonder if they'll call them all. When we'll see Wendi on the stand. How about Robert Adelson, her eldest son, the estranged son? Ooh, and the jail informants. I can't imagine the faces she's going to make then. True crime degenerate said she had a hearing aid at the airport. Did she? I don't think so, right? Did she? I can't remember seeing that. Vintage FLA. So you said hard of hearing will help her when she's in prison with all the noise. The Ninny Fee said this is a chaotic trial. Is it? I think it's so well run. It's just a lot of tension, a lot of tension. Here's Harvey Adelson, Donna's husband. Not many people say they're going to get you, Harvey. Everybody's just gunning for Wendi. People are like, well, they're definitely going to get Wendi. I don't know about that. This could be the end of the arrest chapter, but who knows if more arrests will be made. I mean, Donna Adelson is the 5th person that could be convicted in this case. The others already are. Editya Zolotar said, not a very likable defendant. Yeah, not really, hey? Oh my word, what a sidebar. Thank you so much for your sticker. Sure. Okay, now we're really all the way caught up. I think this is the Dateline guy, Dennis Murphy. This is Ruth Markel, Dan's mother. We're still looking at everyone in the courtroom. Melinda Romo said, this poor man, he worked hard his whole life and it comes down to this mess. I don't know, man. I wonder if Harvey knew anything. Harvey drove with Donna the night of the day, you know, the day that Dan Markel was shot. That night, Harvey drove with Donna to Charlie's apartment to drop off money. Did he have no idea what it was for? Stapled money. Money that... I'm not trying to implicate him, I'm just asking questions. Money that Donna had washed. Did she iron it too? She stapled it. Okay. Oh no, the standing. Everybody stand, please, probably means, yeah. The jury's going out again. And the judge is not happy about it. Shame. Look at the judge's face. Not pleased.
Please be seated. What's that? You can step down, Mr. Isom. Please step outside the courtroom. Sure. All right. At this point, I'm nearing becoming inclined to send the jurors home for the day, as we are wasting a significant amount of time on matters that were either previously litigated or now are still being challenged for reasons that could have been handled out of court. Mr. Zellman, for any item that is being objected to with State 60 that you are claiming has no tie to your client's communications, you need to look through that binder now.
Judge, part of the objection that we're making concerning that is without laying the foundation through a witness with personal knowledge, there is no tie to my client. Anything, and specifically anything post-dissolution, so post July 31st of 2013 that's in here, there's no evidence.
I heard this argument previously.
Yes.
It has been ruled upon.
Yes.
At this point, if the state has multiple witnesses that the foundation can be laid through, your objection will be noted for the record, but we are going to move on. If you need to look through this binder to match it up with specific communications in which you believe no foundation can be laid, you'll need to take the time. But as far as wasting the jurors' time on this any further today, what else does the defense need to look through concerning these exhibits?
Southern Kelly B says, gee, are we in trouble? I feel like we might be. This judge makes it feel like, ooh, okay, now everyone's in trouble. Everybody, shh. Yeah, he's not happy. I think he's a grizzly. You guys always say this one's a grizzly, that one's a grizzly. I think this one, Judge Stephen Everett, is a grizzly. Shame. Look at the defense scrambling now. They're like, oh, okay, Judge, we're just quickly going to look at the binder and see what we don't like in here. Look at Donna. There's that snarky face. Not impressed. By the way, Jean P said, thank you for streaming, Grizzly. You really are the best audio, and you have closed captioning. Thank you, Jean.
Before we leave here today, if we need to go through every single state exhibit to deal with any objections concerning them, we will do so, however long that takes. But we're not going to be wasting the jurors' time.
Oh, man. And when the judge says however long that takes, he means it. Yeah, Donna, don't mess with them. Last night, it was yesterday when they were still busy with jury selection, right? And then it's like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock Eastern time, local time there. 5 o'clock, the judge is like, we're going till 8. I will seat this jury today. This jury will be seated no matter what. We'll go to 8 or later. And they went until about 7 p.m. when they seated the jury. Oh my word, this judge, he has stamina. Okay, so when he says, if we need to go through every single page in this binder, we will. And every piece of the state's evidence, if you guys want to go through it now, we will send that jury home and let's go through it. Oh man.
Just a moment, Your Honor.
Donna looks like she knows she's in trouble now. Jessica says, I love this judge. Me too. He's commanding the courtroom. I like it. Strong boundaries. We're not going to waste the jury's time. Donna can't even look at the judge right now. She's looking at her team, like looking through those emails. There are 12 jurors and 2 alternates, 8 men, 6 women, by the way. The judge said the trial schedule should be from 9 a.m. daily until 5:30 p.m. daily. Athena said, his intentional, uncomfortable silence. And Libby said, I love a Grizzly judge. Stay strict. Oh dear. Well, this is awkward. Oh. I don't know. Cake on YouTube said, are the now teen boys in court today? I'm not sure.
Your Honor, subject to our objection concerning establishing the foundation for proving my client's knowledge, we're ready to proceed.
Oh
Concerning
my.
that, Ms. Kappelman, between
We ready to proceed? Flappity flap 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 flap. No, we can proceed now, Judge. Shame. So stressful. Look at Donna's face. She's like, wait, what? She's looking, look at this side eye. He's like, oh, okay, we're just ready to proceed. And Donna's like, really? Really? You're going to let those emails in, huh? Those messages? People are going to hear what I said about Dan Markel and his family? Yeah, we're going to hear it. Jen Art said, this is the worst moment for an attorney in the middle of trial, sweating bullets, trying to find that piece of paper. Ooh, I can only imagine.
former Detective Isom, Wendi Adelson, or any other witnesses, are you going to be establishing the foundation as to the defendant's knowledge or connection through multiple witnesses?
May I have a moment, please?
Go ahead.
I had not planned to do that. I provided this exhibit to the defense. I have not heard anything about an objection, so I have not planned to go through every single piece of paper with this witness. I can do that, but that is going to take some time. I will need a recess to prepare for that. I do have a list of how each piece of paper is related to the defendant, but this witness isn't prepared to go through every single piece of paper in this exhibit.
Are you requesting for me to send the jurors home for the day?
No. I think I've complied with the court's ruling, and I'm requesting that the exhibit be admitted pursuant to that, and we move on.
There does have to be a foundation as to the nexus between the defendant's either communications or actions and these pleadings. That was the ruling. For what was provided in discovery,
Is that something that needs to be done in front of the jury, Judge, or is that something we could tie up later and move on right now?
you can tie up later, but it will not be admitted until the foundation is tied up.
Okay, Judge, I think that would be my preference then.
Very well. Please bring the jurors up. Please direct Detective Isom to come back in and take the stand. Detective
Okay.
Isom, come back in.
Okay. Gotta hydrate after all the snark, you know?
All right, you're in the courtroom.
Everyone can be seated. You may continue your examination, Ms. Kappelman.
Thank you, Judge.
That reaction to whatever sound that was. Everybody's awake now.
Approach with State's Exhibit 64. Do you recognize State's 54?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
These are the emails, I believe. I believe these are from Wendi Adelson's computer.
Was a search warrant issued to Wendi Adelson's Google account?
Yes.
And did we receive emails subject to that search warrant?
Yes.
And does State's Exhibit 64 contain fair and accurate copies of emails between Wendi Adelson and Donna Adelson?
Yes.
And if you'll turn to the yellow tab there. In particular, are you familiar with this email? And for the record, Judge, this is tab AA.
This is. Yes.
Is that an email that was sent from Wendi Adelson to Donna Adelson? On the bottom.
This is from Donna.
Well, okay. It starts out as something from Danny, right?
Right. Dan sends this email to Wendi,
Okay.
and it's
what is,
CC'd to another individual.
okay. And what does Wendi do with it?
She forwarded it to her mother.
Okay. And is the content of the email related to what we referred to as the grandma motion?
Yes.
What is the grandma motion?
This is where Dan
Your
Markel.
Honor,
What is the objection?
first of all, lack of foundation and it's hearsay at this point.
Overruled as to lack of foundation. The investigator may testify as to his personal knowledge of the investigation. Concerning hearsay, Ms. Kappelman.
Did Mrs. Adelson respond to this email?
Your Honor, going to object again. Mrs.
One
Adelson.
moment. Members of the jury, the bailiff is going to take the vote.
Oh my, okay. There, I made this emoji here. Drama in the courtroom today. Day one. Ooh, let's hear what the judge. This poor judge, oh my word, he's going to be like, trying to establish the foundation.
Investigator Isom, if you could step down, please, sir. So, not to sound like a broken record, but that part where the jurors need to go home so the issues concerning these documents can be worked through, concerning that, Mr. Zellman, what is your position?
Judge, I've said all along.
I know what your argument is, but as to the items that the state is seeking to admit today, are there going to be more challenges of this nature? If you have objections, I will rule on them, but we're not going to waste the jurors' time.
Judge, as to 64AA, my client and her husband shared an email address. There's no evidence as to who sent the response that the state is trying to get to.
How many parts of 64 is the defense objecting to? Capital. Concerning AA, does the foundation need to be laid amongst multiple witnesses, or is Detective Isom capable of doing this?
As far as to whom the email address belonged, that will have to be tied up with Wendi Adelson.
Very well. Is there any other parts of Exhibit 64 that need to be dealt with now while the jurors are out of the room? Please look through it.
Just AA, Your Honor.
Are there any other exhibits that pertain to Detective Isom that need to be dealt with while the jurors are out of the room?
Would you like to know what items I intend to introduce, Judge, through him?
Please, so we can handle these objections now, and there will not be a constant back and forth where the jurors need to leave the room.
Exhibit 55.
I think we stipulated for that.
Well, 60 is the divorce excerpts, which again, we're going to deal with separately. The email, 64, my understanding is we're going to deal with AA, and then the rest of it is going to come into evidence with this witness at this time. 65, Mr. Rivera's ticket, which is certified. 66, Garcia's ticket, which is certified. 67, Save Gas records with certification. 68, Adelson Institute records with certification.
Are there any objections by the defense that need to be handled out of the presence of the jury concerning these items?
No, Your Honor.
There's a couple more, Judge.
Go ahead.
89, Premiere video clips. 90, bus video clips. 119 is a thumb drive containing the raw data from Premiere, and 120 is a thumb drive containing the raw data from the bus.
No objections to those, Your Honor.
Please bring back in the detective.
The judge is a lighthouse. Remember Judge Don Ash said, be a lighthouse, not a tank. I think this judge is a lighthouse. Even though he seems very upset by all this, it's done in a very nice way. Not that Mickey said, ooh, we are definitely claiming Judge Everett as a grizzly, right? We do. We're claiming him as a grizzly. guessing the jury would feel like us, like, what is happening? Now they also want to hear all these things. Read the emails.
How are we handling that?
As to AA, whichever portion of the foundation you're capable of laying with the detective, you can at least start it with them. As to the rest of it, you can seek to admit it if the foundation can be laid without it, or without any other witnesses.
Stefan said, I hope the jurors get some snacks in the jury room. I believe the judge said during jury selection, once they had them seated, that he was going to organize snacks for them. I wonder what they are. Oh, we're cracking knuckles now. Still a lighthouse.
Please bring back in the jurors.
Here comes Craig Isom again. Detective Craig Isom. He's pretty snarky too. I like it. He's just like, oh, here we go. Gonna read the emails or what? It's quite risky when the defense objects like that multiple times and then it gets overruled, because it will make, in my opinion, the jury want to hear it even more, you know? Oh, I mean, I want to. The more they object, the more I want to hear what it is. Yes, Chihuahua Mama said he went to Costco himself for snacks. Yes. Gerda says Detective Isom has the Grizzly no poker face. Yes. Just uniquely, Susie said, I knew this was going to be a snarky trial. They're not disappointing. Yeah. It felt like it could have been, right? The potential was there and it's living up to it. We're all caught up now. Hey Donna, I'm not sure day one is going so well for you.
Everyone can be seated. You may continue with your examination of Mr. Isom as it relates to the foundation.
Mr. Isom, you, I believe, previously indicated that you reviewed the divorce file as part of your investigation.
Yes.
And that's the court file.
Yes.
All right. And as part of your investigation, did you review the emails that were subject to Wendi Adelson's Google search warrant?
Yes.
And in those emails, was there an email in which the contents of, well, let me ask you first about the motion. Did you review a motion where Dan Markel was seeking to restrict Donna Adelson's access to the children?
Yes, I did.
All right. And that motion was filed with the court?
Yes.
It was pending at the time of his death?
Yes.
And did you find in the emails any evidence that the contents of that motion were sent to Donna Adelson?
Yes.
And is that tab AA of State's Exhibit 64?
Yes.
And are the contents of that email substantially similar to the allegations made in the court filing?
Substantially, yes.
Okay. And what is the gist of what it is that Dan Markel is requesting?
He does not want Donna Adelson to have unsupervised contact with his children.
Why not?
Because of the statements that are made in here and that was shown in the court filing, that the children reflected that Grandma says you're stupid, Grandma says she hates you.
And
Judge.
Oh no.
Please do not read from any document that is not submitted.
at this time, Judge, I would ask.
Oh, I was just going to say, please don't object again. We're going to do this back and that, Judge. Imagine the judge if right now it was like, we object, what, send the jury out, oh man. So it was on May 15th of 2014 where Dan Markel filed a motion to limit Donna Adelson's unsupervised access to the children, citing her disparaging remarks about him in their presence, like calling him stupid, calling him mean, saying, taking their sunshines away, and this escalated family tensions. Now that's very important because May 15th of 2014, think about it. It was just May, June, July, 2 months later that Dan Markel was killed on July 18th of 2014. So that, I would speculate, was the last straw for Donna Adelson. That she's like, you know what, no, we got to get rid of this guy. I'm speculating. That's in my opinion, based on everything that I've read, right? She is presumed innocent until proven guilty. But day one is already getting interesting, and I do think this email then is very important. And Wendi, I stand corrected, from all her testimony I've heard, she claims Donna didn't even know, she didn't know about that. She didn't know about some of these motions and emails. She never actually received it and all of that. But these emails are proving otherwise, right?
To admit State's Exhibit 64.
All parts or just the part that does not include AA?
Subject to tying up AA, I would seek to admit the whole thing.
States 64, any objection?
Just the objection previously made, Your Honor.
Concerning States 64, it will be admitted except for Part AA and any later foundation that needs to be addressed.
Did, in your review of these emails contained in State's Exhibit 64, the defendant, Donna Adelson, use any strong language against Dan Markel?
Yes.
Did she call him any names?
Yes.
I would ask you to review State's Exhibit 64, tab DD. Do you recognize that exhibit?
Yes.
What email is that?
This is from Donna to Wendi.
And does she call Dan any names in that email?
She calls him Elvis.
How about asshole?
I know it's in here.
Take your time.
Tell us,
Have you ever seen an email where she called him an asshole?
I've seen an email, but I don't see it here.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
Tab M, please.
Emma?
M as in Mike.
M.
Did she, who, I guess tell us who it's to, who it's from, and the date, please.
It's from Donna to Wendi, March 6th, 2013.
Does she call Dan Markel any names in that email?
Show us Donna's face. Right?
Yes, she does.
What names does she call him?
In this
Name.
in this particular email, after the first paragraph, it says that she calls him a major fucker.
Please refer to tab Q, a May 3rd of 13 email.
Yes,
Does that email, is it from Donna to Wendi?
it is.
And does it reference Wendy's relocation efforts?
Yes,
Does it indicate that Wendy's relocation efforts are extremely important to Donna Adelson?
yes,
Please reference tab V as in Victor, a June 25th email. Are you familiar with the court filing in which relocation was denied?
yes,
Do you know on which date relocation was denied?
June 20th, 2013.
So this is email on tab V as in Victor. Is it 5 days after relocation was denied?
It is June 26th, 2013.
Does Donna Adelson, the defendant, propose another plan to facilitate relocation in light of the court's ruling?
Yes,
So this is done after the court's ruling,
correct.
and relocation is still being discussed.
Yes.
Okay, what does she suggest?
She suggests that the children between Wendi and Dan start attending, or her at least the ruse of them going to a Christian church or a Catholic church.
And to take pictures of it and send it to Dan Markel, right?
Yes,
To strong arm him into agreeing to the relocation, right?
correct. Coercion.
Did Donna Adelson, the defendant in this case, suggest a bribe to Dan Markel to cause him to allow these kids to be moved to South Florida?
Yes.
Draw your attention to tab W. What is the proposal in reference to this bribe?
$1 million.
$1 million.
Yes.
Okay? Were there any death benefits, any monies that were to be gained from the death of Dan Markel?
Yes.
Did he have a life insurance policy?
He did.
What was the amount of the life insurance policy?
One of them was for $2 million.
And a second one for $60,000?
$60,000 from the second one through the law school.
Were there any survivor benefits for these kids in the event of Dan's death?
There was
What are those?
$4,800 a month.
Who gets that money for the disbursement of the kids?
Wendi Adelson.
What about through his employment at FSU Law School? Did he have a pension there?
Got a pension, a deferred comp, 401k,
And an estate worth some money, right?
approximately $300,000.
What was the total value of Mr. Markel's estate?
$2.7 million.
As part of your investigation, did you attempt to establish a timeline of the victim's activities prior to his murder?
Yes.
What did he do that day?
At 8:50 a.m., he dropped off his children at the preschool daycare on West Tharp Street. From there, he proceeded to go back across town to Premier Fitness Gym. off of Village Square Boulevard.
Was there any surveillance at the gym?
Yes,
And was that collected by law enforcement?
it was.
All right.
Day one is
Judge, at
spicy.
this time I'd ask to move into evidence, State's Exhibit 119, a thumb drive containing the surveillance collected from Premier Gym.
Any objection? There you are. States 119 is admitted.
And was the raw data or surveillance video collected from the gym compiled in a way that shows what it is we're looking for concerning Mr. Markel?
That's correct, yes.
Was that done in State's Exhibit 89?
I believe so.
All right, Judge, at this time I'd ask to move into evidence, State's 89.
Any objection? There you are. States 89 is admitted.
Were you able to see on this gym surveillance video Mr. Markel's vehicle enter the parking lot of the gym?
Yes,
At what time does he enter the parking lot of the gym?
I believe it was 9:11,
sound right?
9:11, yes.
And we're talking about AM, so you said he dropped the kids off at 8:50 and he arrives at the gym at 9:11?
8:50 a.m. is when he dropped the children off, and he signed them in at the daycare. And then at 9:11 is when you see his car enter the parking lot at Premier, all on July 18th, 2014.
And were you able to see anything sinister about the parking lot of Premier Gym on the morning of Mr. Markel's shooting?
Following Markel's car entering the lot, a short time later, a vehicle enters the lot that is similar in description from the next door witness, Mr. Geiger.
And what does the suspect vehicle do when Mr. Markel enters the gym?
It parks, and no one gets out of the car.
How long does the suspect vehicle stay there while Mr. Markel's in the gym?
I don't recall the exact amount of time, but it's quite some time that the whole time he's in the gym, and even after he comes out, gets back in his car and leaves. That's when the car leaves at the same time.
All right, so the whole time he's in the gym doing his workout, this suspect Prius is in the parking lot.
Correct.
And when he comes out to leave and gets in his vehicle, what happens with the Prius then?
The Prius follows.
Judge, at this time, I would ask to introduce State's Exhibit 89. I'm sorry, I have introduced it. I'm asking to publish it at this time.
Publish.
Thank you. Is this black vehicle Mr. Markel's vehicle?
Yes, it's a black Honda four-door. Same car.
And that's Mr. Markel parking right there behind the flagpole.
That's correct.
What is this vehicle?
That will be the suspect vehicle,
And is
green
the-
Prius.
Okay, consistent with the description given by Mr. Geiger?
They said a light colored or silverish, and the car color is a silver pine mica.
Who's that in the blue circle?
That's Mr. Markel exiting his vehicle.
That's him in the red shirt?
That's correct. It's Mr. Markel entering Premier's main doors.
What do we see in this image?
I'm sorry?
What do we see in this portion of the tape?
That's the suspect vehicle, the Prius, driving through the parking lot.
At this point, is Mr. Markel inside the gym?
He's inside, yes.
Sure, it's sad to see, right? Peep said that's so sad. And you guys, Bitsy said hard to watch. Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone in this. I wouldn't think I am, but it's really sad to see. I mean, Dan was just like dropping off his kids at preschool, and then, okay, now we're going to the gym, and you just see this Prius, you know, just prowling around, waiting to... The hitmen are in there, waiting to kill him. I mean, this is terrible. Texas One said, so sad watching his last moments. It really is. His poor family also sitting in the courtroom watching it again, you know?
This is still in the front section where the car went from right to left.
This is still part of the Premier Gym parking lot?
Correct, yes. It's just the opposite, camera facing the opposite direction. And this is the car reversing course coming back towards the front doors.
Yep. Okay, now what's the time on the video here?
I can't read 10:30. I think it says 10:38.
Is this Mr. Markel exiting the gym at this
He's
point?
exiting the Premier, the same door he came in. I'm sorry, it's 10:33 on the timestamp.
Thank you.
That's Mr. Markel making his way to the parking lot where his car is parked.
Once he gets in the car, does he sit there a few minutes, or is that at the front end?
I'm sorry?
Does he sit in his car for a few minutes at one point?
Just a short period of time. Then his car starts backing up.
Is that,
That's him exiting.
and will we see the suspect vehicle pull out
It's coming
behind
from the
him?
backside. See it? Same suspect vehicle following the direction of Markel's car.
Right, and it exits the parking lot at 10:39 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay. And based on what would be the logical route from here to Mr. Markel's home, did you try to get some additional surveillance to see if you could catch the suspect vehicle any further?
Yes.
What was that?
That was the location was the business. No, I'm sorry, it's a bus video off of a bus at McClay Commerce Boulevard and Thomasville Road.
All right. And were you able to actually find some bus video from both before and after the shooting of the suspect vehicle?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry to pause. I just quickly want to say thank you to Faith Long. You said, hey G, love how you present trials. The delay and deflav really makes the trial flow. Your commentary and snark are invaluable and always appreciated. Thank you for your support. It's because of your support that there's no ads while we watch these long trial days. So thank you very, very much. And also to, they couldn't find it, Debbie, you said, thank you G for all you do. You are our GOAT. Proud as a mama grizzly to watch you on Court TV. Oh, thank you so much. I will be on Court TV today again, somewhere between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern. Don't know exactly which segments, but if you guys want to catch me live later, I will be on Court TV. Not on YouTube. Go to the website, courttv.com, click watch live at 9 p.m. Eastern.
And were those the raw data that you collected from the bus compiled into clips similar to what we saw on the gym video?
That's correct.
All right, Judge, at this time I would ask to move into evidence State's Exhibit 120, a thumb drive containing the bus raw data, and State's Exhibit 90, a disc containing the bus video clips.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
States 90 and then 20 are admitted.
Permission to publish States 90.
You may.
Before we do that, look at this. Look who's waiting in the hallway. Alicia Devine shared on X. Wendi Adelson waits in the hallway for the state to call her to testify in the trial for her own mother, Donna Adelson. And then Kathy Russin from Law and Crime said, yes, I'm disappointed she's not wearing her trial testimony dress. Right? But oh my word, is Wendi going to take the stand next? Damn, then we'll be here till Sunday. Hope she'll come back on Monday though.
All right, if you can pause it for just a minute. Can you orient us? Is this the McClay Commerce?
Yes, this is the bus is pointing east. So just beyond that circle is where the flyover starts. If you're going southbound, you can take the flyover to get on Capitol Circle after you pass McClay Gardens and everything. So this car is on Thomasville Road, not the flyover, and it is going southbound.
All right, and this camera is mounted on the bus. That's how we were able to get this image?
Correct.
Okay.
This is a city bus.
Continue, please. The time on this, 10:44 a.m., is
Correct.
that right? And what is this orange circle?
This is the Prius going the same direction as Markel's car, southbound on Thomasville Road.
Okay, now where are we?
This is southbound on Thomasville. We've gone underneath the I-10 overpass, and we're at Metropolitan Boulevard, and the bus just so happens to pull up right behind the Prius.
Based on the image in this exhibit right here, were you able to deduce the tag number of the Prius?
No.
That would have saved you a lot of
A
trouble,
lot
wouldn't it?
of time, yes.
A lot of time. So inside this vehicle, I'm sure many of you know the case very well, right? But in case you don't, inside this Prius is Luis Rivera and Sigfredo Garcia. Luis Rivera is driving. He's the getaway driver. Sigfredo Garcia he's the trigger man. And these two are getting ready to murder Dan Markel. I mean, what a scary image, right? To see this, to know, well, who knows what they're talking about in that car, but they're getting ready to kill a father of 2 children who just dropped his sons off at preschool and just went to the gym. 41 years old, super healthy, and they're following him because they've got a job to do, you know? They're going to get, I think each of them would get a third of $100,000 to do this job. So if you don't know who they are, look, Luis Rivera and Sigfredo Garcia in this vehicle. Luis Rivera decided to tell on everyone, take a plea deal. He got 19 years. He was sentenced, right? And Sigfredo Garcia got life without parole. Southern Calibi said, gee, why do you think they went through those emails before the timeline of this day? I would speculate to warm the jury up to when Wendy's going to take the stand. Introducing some of that evidence and then grilling her about it is what I would assume. Thank you so much for your sticker.
The video could not be enhanced anymore.
Does the evidence suggest that Markel had already gone on through past this traffic light?
Correct, because this car was behind Markel's car. So he must have beat the light or got through the intersection before this car.
Okay, now can you orient us?
I believe we're now at Thomasville Road, southbound at Benton. And that circle was the Prius in the left turn lane to go from Thomasville eastbound on Benton Road.
And is that the way to Mr. Markel's residence?
Not this time. He turned beforehand. We found out later on.
We found out later that Mr. Markel turned later on.
Yes,
But this is
car
the way
turned.
the suspect vehicle goes.
Right, he turns left.
Okay, can you get to Mr. Markel's residence from Benton Road?
Yes.
The way he turned.
Yes.
All right, now, can you back it up, please? So the last time we see the suspect vehicle turning off Thomasville onto Benton Road is what time? Hit play, please.
10:51.
Okay. And what time does our, pause it please, what time does our 911 call come in?
11:02 a.m.
Okay, so he was killed between 10:51 and 11:02.
Well, we narrowed it down even more than that. But,
Okay. Tell me how you narrowed it down further.
well,
than
this bus now, this is a different bus. Same city bus group, but this is a totally different bus that's northbound on Thomasville Road. So based on the time, this bus is northbound, the shooting has already happened. And you'll see that the Prius catches up in the same lane as that black vehicle there next to the bus at 10:55, I believe. 10:55. Here it comes.
So that helps you narrow it down to what as the time of death?
10:50. Well, at 10:51, he's in the Prius is in the turn lane. At 10:55, they've already left Prescott and they're northbound towards I-10.
Okay, and you say they. Why do you say they?
Well, here shortly you'll see what appears to be two different individuals in the front seat of this car.
See something white moving around in the passenger seat?
Yeah, the white shirt, the person in that side of the car seems extremely animated, excited. And the other side, the best view that I've ever gotten is someone's in a black, solid black shirt or upper top.
All right, and this is a slowed down version to try to get a better look at those occupants. All right, what are these orange circles indicating?
These are characteristics of this car that we found to be unique. The passenger side mirror is solid black. These cars have, when they come new, the mirror is the same color as the car, the mirror casing on the outside. This one's been replaced, it appears, because it's black. The circle in the middle, the top of the windshield, that appears to be a sun pass or toll type pass activator. And then the lower bumper circle, that's where a tow hook can be threaded in for towing purposes, but otherwise it has a cap over it, and the cap is missing.
Were you able to deduce anything about the year of the Toyota Prius?
Based on the research that we did through Toyota, this was established to be a 2006 to 2009 Toyota Prius, and the color, as I said before, was silver pine mica.
All right. Is it fair to characterize your investigation as having kind of two different veins at this point? We're looking at motive over here, and we're looking at the Prius over here.
Correct.
Okay. And you mentioned the SunPass transponder, so we know this Prius. I'm assuming it's not the only silver pine mica Prius between 06 and 09 in the state.
Correct.
All right. So what do we do to try to track down the SunPass transponder?
I contacted Florida Department of Transportation, who administers the SunPass, and wanted to find out, what's the likelihood of that kind of car having a SunPass, and I was overwhelmed with, there was thousands. So that wasn't narrowing down anything very quick.
At that time, was SunPass more affiliated with South Florida, or did pretty much everybody in Tallahassee have one?
No, south and central, anything Orlando south for the most part.
Okay. Did you have any indication based on the surveillance video available as to where the vehicle went after it fled from Markel's residence?
I just know that right here it's going northbound towards I-10 from Thomasville.
All right. Let's watch to the end.
This intersection is Armistead, so this is north of Benton, heading back towards I-10.
Was any cell phone analysis worked on in this case?
Excuse me?
Cell phone analysis?
Yes.
Who performed the cell phone analysis?
Sergeant Corbett.
Okay, and is that something that was going on simultaneously as you doing this SunPass?
That's correct.
Thing? Okay. And did Corbett's work include trying to look for phones of interest traveling in the areas that we know where you found our suspect vehicle?
That and Premier Jim.
Okay. And we will talk to Sergeant Corbett later, but based on his analysis, did you have an idea or develop an idea of the route that your suspects may have taken?
Yes.
All right, and what did you do to follow up on that?
Well, initially, because of our large expanse of cars, we started looking for South Florida at any cars going through the interchange southbound at Wildwood, where you get on the turnpike from I-75. That was a bust. It was way too many. We couldn't find anything that was concrete. So once the phone analysis was done, we had a better idea that there was one particular number, and tracking that went southbound on I-75 all the way to Naples, and then crossing over on Alligator Alley, which is still I-75, from west to east, from Naples to Broward County.
And once you learned that it was actually this other route than what you would expect, were you able to do anything with in reference to the toll plazas and the SunPass transponder that you weren't able to do previously?
That's correct.
Okay, tell us about that.
Once we had that established, then I contacted the SunPass administrators again at Department of Transportation. And I explained to them what I had. I said, we got a Prius, a 2006 to 2009, silver pine mica, not that they had that in the records. I says, but we have them going through approximately this toll plaza in Naples, going westbound. And once I gave them that and the time, within a couple minutes of when they would have gone through, they showed an activation with a transponder from the windshield at that toll plaza in Naples in Collier County, and there was only one Prius, and that's what we determined, that it was going back to South Florida and cutting across Alligator Alley.
All right, and were you able to backtrack and find the toll plaza record or SunPass record of the vehicle coming to Tallahassee as well?
Correct. On the 16th of July, that same transponder, we're talking about the sticker on the windshield, that same transponder went through from Broward County, West Broward County, through the other end of the toll plaza. There's one on each end. There's nothing in the middle. But one going eastbound, that same transponder on the 16th of July cut across Alligator Alley and then presumably went up 75, which the phone records will show that. And then the return trip was the first one we found.
And did that help you identify the particular SunPass transponder by like an identification number?
Yes.
And is a particular SunPass transponder affiliated with a particular vehicle through some type of SunPass record?
Yes, it shows the customer who purchased the SunPass, and they submit what kind of vehicle it is, the tag number, in case the the transponder doesn't work, they could still use their credit because it'll take a picture of the tag.
All right, so what did you learn about the suspect vehicle at this time from the SunPass stuff?
It was a rental. It was a rental from a Miami car rental place called Save Gas.
Okay. Did law enforcement go to Save Gas in Miami?
Yes.
Was there any documentation discovered at that business related to the rental of this vehicle?
There was.
67. Let's approach and show you what I marked as state 67. Recognize state 67.
I'm just asking you guys a question in case some of you know, because there's definitely going to be people here who know the case, like every detail. Did Wendi ever get that payout? I mean, would she get it? Because, I mean, she was the ex-wife, but they talked about, it's just interesting that they brought that up, you know, that Dan had a $2 million life insurance and another $60,000 and then $4,800 a month that would be survivors benefits for the kids, and they said that would go to Wendi, and then he had a pension fund. Like, I think my snark tank would overflow if I know that she got all that money, some of that money. I don't know. That just feels very wrong if that happened. But I'm just wondering. So I'm going to pose the question in case anybody knows. Not guessing, if you know it, right?
Yes.
Okay, is that the...
Sorry to pause again. Dev's in space. That makes sense. You said the dollars, it's in a trust for the kids. That would make sense. And the kids, by the way, for everyone asking, they would be 14 and 15 now. So I know people are asking if there's one grandkid sitting in the courtroom. I really don't know. I don't actually like guessing like who's that in the courtroom. I only point out who I know, based on seeing them before at press conferences or other trials. But if I don't know, I'm not really gonna guess, because we just have no idea, right?
The rental contract that you found at the Save Gas related to your suspect vehicle?
That's correct.
All right. Is it a fair and accurate copy of that exhibit or that
Yes.
document? Okay, moving to evidence, State 67, Your Honor.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. State 67 is admitted.
Permission to publish 67.
You may.
And what did we learn about the people that rented the car from this State 67? Not on there?
I think the police work was amazing in this case, hey? To track down that vehicle, to track down the phones, sorry to point them like that, you know, from the vehicle to the phones, and then get to Luis Rivera, Sigfredo Garcia, then Katherine Magbanua, then make the connection to, holy crap, Charlie Adelson, then Donna Adelson. It's, I think the police work, and the state's work in this case has been really amazing, and for many years that it's been happening now.
According to this document, Luis Rivera, Normandy Drive in Miami, is the one that rented this car.
And did he provide a phone number for himself?
Yes.
Is that the number listed right here?
Yes.
Okay. And any other drivers listed on the contract?
No driver listed there, but up in the top, you see the word brother and a phone number that became significant.
All right. And whose phone number were you able to associate? Who were you able to associate this phone number with? The brother.
Sigfredo Garcia.
When was this vehicle rented?
This is on the 16th of July. I'm sorry, this shows 15th. 15th of July.
Okay. And when was it due back?
It was due back on the 17th of July.
Didn't go back on the 17th, though.
No, I don't believe it got back till the 21st.
Okay. Approach and show you what I've marked in the States Exhibit 65. Recognize State 65?
I do.
How do you recognize it?
This was a traffic citation that we discovered Luis Rivera received on I-75.
On I-75 on the way to Tallahassee in the Prius?
No, it was a different car. This was on a different. This was dated June 4th.
I'm sorry, I've showed you the wrong thing. Not the right thing. We'll have to circle back to that. All right, let me ask you about phone. You mentioned that Sergeant Corbett was working on the phone records. I'm going to approach and show you what I marked as States Exhibit 55. You recognize this exhibit?
I do.
This is sort of an org chart of all the folks whose phone records we collected in this case, or many of them.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
And by stipulation, Judge, these phone numbers have been associated with the folks on the chart, so I'd ask to move it down to States 55.
Yes, no objection to the publishing.
55 is admitted at this time.
Publishing States 55. Okay, well, we'll work on that too. Do that.
Like, isn't this case just so crazy, especially if it's, let's say, if somebody's here and it's your first time hearing about it. Just look at this, like the amount of charts we all have to make and just like explaining who's who. This is, of course, Dan Markel, the victim. Wow, like what a case, right? My goodness. And Donna Adelson is the one on trial now. Her husband is Harvey Adelson. Dan Markel was married to Wendi Adelson. They got divorced. They had 2 kids that Donna really, really wanted to live close to her. That's clear from emails, phone calls, and everything else we've previously heard. Not yet at the trial, but wow. Then there's Charlie Adelson. There's also another brother that's estranged that would take the stand in this trial potentially. I mean, Charlie dating Katherine Magbanua, who actually used to date Sigfredo, and then he's got 2 children with Katherine. This is this plot is like crazy. And then there's Rivera. And then the nicknames of the hitmen are Tato and Tato. Oh my word. Imagine only hearing about this case today. If that's you, don't worry. I got you. We did some trial prep, okay? So the trial prep video, there's 2 videos that's on the playlist, and it should help you. I really hope it helps a lot.
All right. Now, Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera, those are the 2 subjects that you establish as being in the Prius. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And these are their phone numbers that have been associated with them listed beneath them.
Correct.
And we've got 2 different numbers for Luis Rivera. Is that right?
Rivera had 2 separate numbers, but his main one was the 570 that was on the rental contract.
All right. And the nicknames that are shown there, are those the nicknames that those 2 go by?
Correct. Tato and Tato.
Tato and Tato.
Correct.
Okay. Were you able to establish any link through people between the 2 that came in the Prius and the Adelson family?
No.
Okay. Were you able to
Well, the link eventually is Katherine Magbanua, right?
establish any type, did you develop a theory or any evidence as to why these 2 people came to Tallahassee to murder Dan Markel?
Well, eventually we learned that the female, Katherine Magbanua, was the mother of Sigfredo Garcia's children and considered each other spouses, to my best understanding.
Okay, and
At
did
the
she
same
have...
time,
Go ahead.
same time, we also found out that she had been dating and in a relationship with Charlie Adelson.
All right, so initially, was there any connection between these 2 guys from Miami and Dan Markel?
None.
All right, so this was the connection that was established, turned out to be Katherine Magbanua.
The only connection we could find.
Okay, and was that done through phone records and ultimately other communication records and testimony?
That's correct.
Okay. Did you, as a result of developing Katherine Magbanua as a potential suspect, investigate her at all?
Yes.
All right, and did that include an investigation into her employment?
That's correct.
What was her employment status around the time of this murder?
At the time of the murder, I believe she worked at another dental office somewhere. But post-murder, she started receiving compensation from the Adelson Institute.
What is the Adelson Institute?
It's a dental practice, according to online information, operated by Harvey Adelson and Charlie Adelson.
Okay, and were the two of them dentists?
Yes, I believe Charlie is recognized as a periodontist.
Did you come to learn what Donna
There's the dad, Harvey. He's the one. I mean, he was.
Adelson?
It was a very successful family. We've gone over all the, academic achievements and everything and what everyone was doing. I mean, the eldest son, this is the dad, right? A dentist. The eldest son, Robert, is a ear, nose, and throat specialist, a doctor. And then Charlie Adelson, a periodontist. And then Wendi, a lawyer. I mean, they had such a thriving business and all of that. Really? This is, again, speculative at this point because Donna is presumed innocent until proven guilty. You needed to take out your ex-son-in-law just to get your grandkids to live closer to you? Really? Throw that all away for what? I mean, Charlie Adelson, life without parole. So middle son, LWOP. If Donna gets convicted, she could face life without parole. Imagine if Wendi gets arrested then. Imagine if Harvey ever gets arrested. I don't know. It's just like, why? It's so crazy.
Adelson's role, if any, was in that business?
Yes, she was clerical and kept books for the business.
Did you attempt to procure some employment records from the Adelson Institute to verify Ms. Magbanua's employment?
We did.
All right, tell us about that.
Myself and Special Agent Sanford from the FBI went to the office, physically, to the office in Broward County in Tamarack, and served a subpoena seeking records for the employment of Katherine Magbanua, and we received nothing at the initial time. Later on, the best I could get from, I believe it was an attorney that represented that dental office, just a list of checks that were paid checks from the Adelson Institute to Katherine Magbanua, but no W-2, no responsibility forms, nothing that showed what she actually did as being employed at that institute.
What was it, regular business hours when you entered there physically?
Yes.
Was Ms. Magbanua present when you entered the building?
No.
But Donna was signing checks for her. She was getting paid for work there, which she never did. You know why? Because she was getting paid as part of the hit job that was done on Dan Markel. Right? So here's a picture of the Adelson Institute for Aesthetic and Implant Dentistry. There's Harvey J. Adelson, Cosmetic and Restorative Dentistry, and Charles J. Adelson, now serving a sentence of life without parole. Yeah, for his role in the murder of Dan Markel. He thought he was quite the gangster, that Charlie Adelson. Always bragging he had, ties to gangs, and he was just ultra cool. He had a license plate number that said Maestro. Oh, no.
Did the employees that you have contact with seem to know who she was or what it was that she did there?
The initial person that I spoke to at the desk, at the front desk, she had no idea who this person was, who Magbanua was. The other person that came up to the front, she said she knew the name, but did not know what her responsibilities were with the company.
And the person that knew the name, who is that?
Erica Johnson, I believe.
And I'm going to approach and show you 68. Recognize 68?
Yes, this is all I received as far as any type of records for.
And there went the red flag, hey? Just like, wait. So they find the Prius, Luis Rivera, Sigfredo Garcia. Now, Sigfredo has children with Katherine, but Katherine's dating Charlie, but then Katherine's getting paid from the Adelson Institute for no work? Red flag. Adam Bluefire said the Adelsons clearly believed as a rich elite family they could buy their way in and out of crime while remaining clean as a whistle on the surface, right? Or Woodruff said way too much evidence not to convict. The paper trail is unbelievably amazing. I know, right? Can you imagine when the jury hears all of it? And I'm sure we're going to hear new things compared to the other trials, but like the emails, the paper trail, follow the money, the jail calls, the hot mic moments, the bump, the way that Donna behaved, all these things. Oh my. Yeah, this is, it's going to be interesting to see when the jury comes back with a verdict.
Or Magbanua and her relationship with the Adelson Institute.
Right. And did the records include any job description for Ms. Magbanua?
No.
Any employment application?
No.
Schedule?
No.
Timesheet?
Nope.
W-2 forms or tax filing records?
Nope.
Any performance evaluations?
None.
So only the checks.
Only the checks.
According to those checks, during what period of time was Katherine Magbanua on the Adelson Institute payroll?
From September of 2014 all the way, this particular one shows March of 2016, but I believe it goes further than that into May 2016.
Right. So it starts shortly after the homicide, about 2 months?
Yes. Actually, the homicide happened July 18th, and the first check was dated September 18th.
For what pay period?
I don't see the pay period on this one.
But presumably she'd be paid for a pay period that had
2 weeks
concluded.
prior, according to the way this is laid out.
All right, and we are going to learn more about the bump or the undercover operation, but is it fair to say the checks terminated shortly after the undercover operation in 2016?
Yes.
Did you notice in your review of that exhibit, the documents provided by the Adelson Institute, that some of those check numbers were consecutive?
Yes, I did.
Who signed those checks?
Donna Adelson.
All of them?
Everyone.
Were
You're
you
looking
ever able
guilty.
to develop any?
She looking guilty. Just like, oh no. Like, wait, what? Yeah, you wrote them all and signed them. I think her defense will say so. She worked at the front desk. She did the bookkeeping, all of that, you know. Donna now, working at her husband's dental practice. So she would be like, well, that's what I just always did was, you know, signing the checks, washing the money, stapling them. Oh, okay. But just right now, it looks like, oh, crap. Is she looking at the jury, right? In a little cardigan. She's there like, Dad, no, I was just doing my work. Interesting that after the bump, an undercover operation, right, where they tried to get the Adelsons talking, and they were wiretapping them. Oh my goodness, and it really delivered. Wow, interesting that right after that, oh, Katherine Magbanua's checks stop. Her work there suddenly stops.
Evidence that Magbanua was physically going to the Adelson Institute during these pay periods?
Never.
Any evidence that she performed some service off-site for that business?
Nothing was established that showed that.
Any evidence of any contact with any patients?
No.
And you were, we'll learn later, listening to some of her phone calls, right?
That's correct.
When was Katherine Magbanua arrested for her role in this murder?
October 1, 2016.
Were you present for her arrest?
I was.
And was she allowed to contact her lawyer from the arrest scene?
Yes,
Did you speak to her attorney as well?
I did.
Who was her attorney?
Tara Kawas.
What happened after that phone call?
After Ms. Magbanua was placed into a car for transport to the Broward County Jail, way less than 20 minutes later, I received a phone call on my phone.
Because lack of relevance, about to testify to something that has nothing to do with my client.
No disputed objections. Ms. Kappelman, please lay the foundation as to this matter in this trial.
Co-conspirator statement, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Go ahead, sir.
So let me back up. So while Ms. Magbanua was detained on scene, where she was arrested in the daytime, daylight hours, she was allowed to place a call to her attorney. She spoke to her attorney. I spoke to her attorney, and I asked that Ms. Kawas, the attorney representing her at the time, that she contact her client, Magbanua, at the Broward County Jail, and if in fact she wanted to cooperate with the investigation, to call me back.
So you were interested in getting information from Ms. Magbanua?
Correct.
Information about the other parties involved in this case?
Yes.
Okay.
So what I mean by cooperation is if she wanted to provide testimony about other players in this. And so I told Ms. Kawas, if you'll talk to your client, obviously out of my presence, and if she decides to cooperate, call me back, and I will go to the Broward County Jail and meet.
And did that happen?
No.
What happened instead?
Well, like I said, within less than 20 minutes from that conversation, I received a phone call from a gentleman that identified himself as David Marcus. Instead, he was an attorney representing Charlie Adelson. And he asked that if Charlie Adelson was to be arrested, if I would just contact him.
Your Honor, my renewed objection, there's relevance, and this is not co-conspirator admission.
Specifically as a co-conspirator aspect,
But it is.
Ms. Kappelman, you need to keep the examination focused on that. Members of the jury, as to the last objection, I will sustain it. You may continue, Ms. Kappelman.
So you speak to Kawas, and your next phone call is from Charlie's lawyer.
Correct.
No further questions.
Cross-examination.
Just a moment, Your Honor.
Are we going to have our first cross-examination of the day? Of the trial? We haven't done any cross-examination yet. Here we go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so at the time of this investigation, when it began, how long had you been with the Tallahassee Police Department?
25 years.
You'd spent vast majority of your career as an investigator detective.
No, I probably spent most of my career as a street officer.
Okay. At the time of this, how long had you been a detective?
6 years.
And you continued to be the lead for Tallahassee Police Department on this investigation until your retirement, correct?
Correct.
Now, it's important when you're conducting an investigation, especially a homicide investigation, for you to be thorough, correct?
Yes.
You don't want to leave essentially any stone unturned,
Yes.
obviously within reason.
Yes.
You talked about your agency beginning to obtain cellular phone records of the Adelson family pretty early on, correct?
Mm,
You started getting them in July?
yes.
Okay. And you learned that Wendi Adelson's parents, my client and her husband, lived in Miami, correct?
I believe at the time it was Coral Springs, but,
They had a place on Miami Beach?
well, I know that they ended up at Miami Beach. I don't recall at the time of the homicide if they were living on Miami Beach.
Okay. But you knew that they were in South Florida?
South Florida is correct.
Okay. And so as your investigation continued and you started looking into, you made the connection between the two individuals who drove up here, Sigfredo Garcia and Rivera. You made that connection to Katherine Magbanua, correct?
Right.
And you made that connection to Charlie Adelson, correct?
Correct.
And then you see these large cash deposits into Katie Magbanua, or you see Katie Magbanua's unemployment status.
Right.
She's still paying her bills in South Florida.
Yes.
Now, you also mentioned that you contacted the SunPass Authority.
Yes.
Did you ever, you'd already made a connection between the investigation and the Adelson family at this point, pretty quickly.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, well, over a couple years. By the time June of 2016 comes, comes about, you've already made that connection.
Oh, yes. By that time, yes.
Okay. And you contacted the SunPass Authority for my client's SunPass records, correct?
No.
No, you didn't. Did you contact the Turnpike Authority for construction records for the Turnpike?
Construction records?
Yes.
No.
What about for I-95 or 595?
To my knowledge, there is no, and I believe I established that with the FDOT, Florida Department of Transportation, that there was no toll system on 95.
Okay. I was asked about construction records on 95.
I did not inquire about construction records.
What about accident records?
Accident records?
Yeah.
No.
Isn't it true that my client and her husband shared an email address?
I believe they did.
You learned that during your investigation. In fact, I think Wendi said that, didn't she, in her interview with you?
I don't recall whether she said it.
Where is... Do you have 64 up here still? Mr. Isom, you identified emails that are contained in State's Exhibit 64, correct?
Yes.
And according to your testimony, these are emails between my client and her daughter, correct?
Yes.
Let's see. And in some of these emails, my client called Danny Markel bad names.
Yes.
She never actually said she hated him, did she, in any of these emails?
That came through the grandchildren.
Okay. At the time, the grandchildren were 3 and 4.
I don't recall the age. They were young.
And you also testified about a bribe. You are not a family law attorney, are you?
No.
Okay. And you have no idea whether or not it's permitted for one party to offer any sort of financial incentive to another party when it comes to relocation.
That's not in my realm.
And you also testified about Mr. Markel's life insurance policy, pension, and you said that those funds went to his children with Wendi as a custodian?
Some of them, and some of them was Dan Markel's sister as the custodian.
Okay. Did my client receive any financial benefit in the form of Danny's life insurance, his pension, or anything else?
Not that I could tell.
Going back to those emails, especially the one the state highlighted concerning the Catholic Church and dressing the kids up, Wendi didn't take those suggestions, did she?
No.
You testified just now concerning your attempt to obtain employment records for Miss Magbanua from the Adelson Institute. It's a small business, right?
It appeared to be.
Just a handful of employees?
Yeah, there was only 2 there at the time.
You don't know whether or not any of the employees had a written job description?
No, I do not know that.
You don't know if any of the employees' files had evaluations or job reviews?
I didn't see that. I would think with that type of business and working on people's mouths and so forth that there would be a little scrutiny involved.
But you don't know if they kept those records for any
I
employee,
have no
do you?
idea. I was only seeking and only had cause to seek for Magbanua.
And when Miss Magbanua was arrested, you testified that you received a call from someone who identified himself as Charlie's attorney, correct?
After her arrest, the gentleman that called my number he identified himself as an attorney for Charlie Adelson.
Not Donna Adelson.
Not Donna.
Now, is it unusual in an investigation like this for a defense attorney to contact you about whether or not there's a warrant for their client's arrest?
I wouldn't say that. If I can... It was shocking to me that within that short a time frame, the only way that this person would have knowledge would be from Magbanua's attorney. So there would be contact between Magbanua's attorney and this person identifying himself as Charlie's attorney in a short, very short time. No media, nothing had been divulged.
So what you found unusual was the short time frame, not the phone call itself.
No, there's just it was immediate, and I'm basically telling Coas, if your client wants to cooperate, contact me. Don't call somebody else that's a co-conspirator, their attorney.
You didn't receive a call from anyone identifying themselves as Donna's attorney in that instant, did you?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Kappelman asked you about what has been coined that grandmother motion. Again, you're not a family law attorney.
Right, still not.
And so although you read the motion,
Yes.
and you're educated, absent having some legal knowledge, can you interpret what is being requested in the motion?
I believe so. I think it's pretty plain.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. Now, I want to go back to the emails.
Oh dear. Okay, I'm glad you said that. What did he just walk into?
I'm going to use the board. The emails that you testified were between my client and her mother.
I just if we needed to take a break.
I'm going to show you 64 EE. Let's see. The sender of this email is not Donna Adelson, is it?
No, it doesn't. I don't know who it's from. It's not showing it.
Okay. It's an evite.com invitation.
I've seen those.
Okay. You don't have any personal knowledge as to how these are generated, do you?
Someone has to go through this program to get it set up and sent out.
But you don't have any personal knowledge as to how that's done, do you?
No.
The next page of EE, it's August 30th, 2014 email to Wendi. The sender is donnaharvey@gmail.com, correct?
That's correct.
Whose name is next to that?
Harvey Adelson.
That's not Donna Adelson, is it?
I believe that's her husband.
Next. It's an email dated September 12th, 2014. And the sender is saying that Lincoln will attend Tot Shabbat with his grandpa, Harvey Adelson. Isn't that what it says?
Yes, it does.
Who's it from?
It's from donnaharvey@gmail.com.
And whose name is next to that?
It says Harvey Adelson.
I'm going to show you 64FF. This is, again, from Donna Harvey@gmail.com, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Whose name is there?
Where it says from,
Yes.
it says Harvey Adelson.
Okay. Wendi, this is the information on work order for repair of TV, Friday, July 18th, between 8 and 12. Love, Dad. My
Yes.
client's not Dad, is she?
I wouldn't refer to him as that. I don't think she would either.
This is still part of that same email, the Geek Squad schedule. Would you be willing to accept a sooner appointment if one become available? Do you see that language?
Yes.
What's the answer underneath that?
Yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Examination. Go ahead.
I'll use the projector. Defense pointed out, hey, Harvey and Donna share an email address, right?
Yeah.
DonnaHarvey@gmail.com. And some of these are signed Dad.
Right.
Are some of them signed Mom?
Right.
Okay, and drawing your attention to this one on May 3rd, 2013, including the statement, the most important part of your divorce is relocation. On page 4 of that exhibit, well, let me start by going to the very end. Inconveniently, the way this printed, love you. Who signed that one?
Mom.
And on page 4 of the exhibit, just a moment.
It's actually an interesting question. When who asked it? Sorry, I missed now who asked it. There we go. Laurie said, "Isn't Harvey going to testify?" Interesting. How he's never called to testify. Hey, I mean, maybe he can't actually help build the state's case, but can he though? What does he know? Or do they plan on arresting him one day? One has to wonder.
The state's exhibit W, this is one from Thursday, June 27th, 2013. It's signed Mom and Dad, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And in this one,
Shame, Harvey does look upset, hey? Kiki Belzor said, "Donna throwing Harvey under the bus. Look at him." Yeah, he's looking uncomfortable. Can you imagine? Jennifer said, "It sounds like the wife is trying to throw her husband under the bus. Look at him."
all right, so we've got some from Mom and Dad, right?
That's correct.
No further questions.
You may step down, Mr. Isom. Will he be retained? You may
Put
be
Wendi on the
recalled
stand.
at some point.
Are they going to take a break now? Yes, they are. Damn it.
What's that?
Am I under the rule?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Members of the jury will take a break at this point briefly. The bailiff will take you to the jury room.
Donna, would you throw your son, Charlie, under the bus? Well, that makes sense because they're already serving a life without parole sentence. But would you throw your husband under the bus? How about Wendi? Oh, well, what about Rob? I think Wendy's going to testify next, which is going to be interesting, which is quite
Everyone
a
can be
late start.
seated. Just a reminder for the gallery while the testimony is taking place. If you step outside of the courtroom, you'll need to wait until the examination of that witness is complete. We will resume at 3:50.
Well, well, we can just go forward then, can't we?
On what we're doing there.
And isn't that the beauty of chipping in? Then we add some time and we can just teleport right over those breaks. It's quite handy. Okay, wait. Let's just make sure we catch the right moment here. Yeah, they're going to come back any minute now. Yes, Lee says, "I call to the stand Wendi Adelson." Yes, please.
What's that?
May I address the court while she's working on the
Go
jury?
ahead.
I would like some clarification on the hearing that is going to be conducted outside the presence of the jury regarding State's Exhibit 60. My takeaway from our sidebar was that I was going to authenticate every single page. The defense has now advised me they only have limited objections to State 60, so I would ask for some clarification on what we're doing there.
Starting 60, the defense can be heard.
I think we resolved that with the court's ruling already, Your Honor.
I believe Ms. Katherine just brought it up because there might have been a discussion while I was in the room.
I
No.
Ms. Fulford thought that she was referring
I
to
thought
some.
I thought you were referring to the email.
Oh, no, I'm
For
referring to the
64,
divorce.
State Exhibit 64 has been admitted, with the only exception being AA for right now.
Right, that was my bad. I thought that's what she was referring to when I said
Okay.
hers.
Deborah, thank you for the
As to
coffees.
State 60, the foundation has begun with the detective as to any other witnesses that you intend to link up the parts of the foundation with. You were certainly permitted to do so.
Is there an objection to it right now being admitted?
I
And
believe
if
the objection
so-
was foundation as to showing emails or communications that link up exactly with what the pleadings are.
Yes, sir. And will that be in reference to each pleading or just select pleadings?
Mr. Zellman, Ms. Fulford.
Judge, my understanding from the court's ruling is that the state could lay the foundation as they move through their case, and with that ruling, I mean, obviously we'd like them to establish foundation, but I'm not objecting to what has been presented as 60 other than the foundation, which, as you indicated, they can prove up along the way as long as they complete it by the end of their case in chief.
Well, until the foundation is complete as to State 60, it is not admitted.
Understood. Okay, I am going to go forward with Mr. Rivera at this time, Judge. If we finish before 5, I'm hopeful that I'll be able, outside the presence of the jury.
Put Lewis on the stand. Sorry, Wendy, you're just going to wait in the hallway for today. Okay, you'll have to come back on Monday, and then we'll be glued to the screen. We'll be glued. Okay, my word.
To conduct that hearing regarding the foundation and admissibility of that exhibit. Would that be acceptable to the court?
That's fine.
Okay. I'm not sure I'm going to be ready. I'm working on that, but just wanted to have clarification on what I was working on.
Please bring in the jurors.
And can we have Mr. Rivera brought in?
Oh, my word, Lewis Rivera.
Want to have him seated before we bring
You,
him in?
you can bring in Rivera first.
Bring in Rivera. Now, who is he? You guys know who he is, right? I hope so. If not, there's some trial prep for you, but let me quickly show you, just to make sure, because there's Tuto and Tato. Okay, here's a pop quiz. Which one is he? Tuto or Tato? Which one is Lewis Rivera? Huh? Here you go. Okay, so we've got Dan Markel, who's the victim in this case. He was 41 years old when he was killed on July 18th, 2014, right? He was married to Wendi Adelson, who we anticipate to also take the stand, but probably not today based on the pace of today and all the drama. Yeah, and she had 2 kids with Dan Markel. And Donna Adelson really, really wanted those kids to live close to her, because when Donna says something is mine, then it's hers. It's no one else's, right? Nah, he's Tato. So we've got Harvey, he's in the courtroom. Donna's on trial. Charlie, middle child, LWAP. His ex-girlfriend, Katherine Magbanua, LWAP. Her ex-boyfriend, father of her 2 children, Sigfredo Garcia, LWAP, life without parole. And Sigfredo was the trigger man, the guy that actually pulled the trigger, shot Dan Markel in the head twice, okay? But yet it was Lewis Rivera that purchased the gun, and Lewis Rivera who drove the getaway car. Now, Lewis Rivera being the main gangster, part of the Latin Kings gang, he's Tato. I remember it because I'm like, A, okay, he gets an A+ for being the top gangster. Okay, Tato, Lewis Rivera, Tuto, Sigfredo Garcia. Now, Tato, Lewis Rivera, is going to take the stand. And this guy took a plea deal from day one. He was already incarcerated for other crimes. And so he took a plea deal. He's got 19 years instead of LWAP. So he's got the least out of everybody here, you know what I mean, that have been arrested. And he is just willing to just tell it all as it is, in my opinion. Some people think maybe he's still not being truthful. I think he's been very actually honest from day one, because he does have something to lose. A deal. He needs to tell them everything. Renee said coffee for the mods. Thank you. Thank you, Renee. If you want to buy coffee for the mods, it's best to buy it on their coffee link, which I will just share with you in the chat now because it gets calculated every quarter. So that's why. Otherwise, YouTube also takes, half of it. So the mods have a coffee link. I have a coffee link. Grizzly Cat has a coffee link. So just make sure which coffee link you want to send to. All right. Are we ready now to listen to Luis Rivera take the stand? Oh my word. And obviously he's incarcerated. So they've got to bring him out first. Yes. Someone texts us to Pug, says, Grizzlies, pay attention. There might be a pop quiz at the end. I mean, there might be. There just was a little one. Yeah, G-Bear says, a snitch, I thought was a term. Well, yeah. He snitched on everyone. So the snitch is going to take the stand. Why do you snitch? To get less time. Just like the jail informants might take the stand and testify against Donna.
You can bring in the jurors. You can take a seat for right now, Mr. Rivera.
Now, he was childhood friends with Sigfredo Garcia. So when Charlie Adelson approached Katherine Magbanua, who he was dating, saying, hey, do you know anyone who can harm someone? And Katherine Magbanua said, actually, I do. And then Katherine Magbanua spoke to her ex, who is the father of her 2 children, Sigfredo Garcia, and said, hey, I need some help with this and this and this, and they're offering us $100,000. And so Sigfredo Garcia contacted his buddy. The buddy bought the gun. The buddy got the car, rented the car in his name, in his own name. Damn, and off they went. And they actually did like a practice round, I would say an attempted, hit first. But then one of them was kind of, it sounds like playing with a gun in the car and shot through the floorboard. And wow, yeah, the story's crazy. Now, then they went again on July 18th of 2014. Are we ready?
So you're closer to that microphone.
All rise, you're entering the courtroom.
Ooh, and there is a clip of him. It's actually in my trailer that I've got for these trial days. You know when you're waiting for the live to start? It's in the trailer. Is it in that trailer, actually? Maybe I didn't put it in there. He was staring at Charlie Adelson, like literally staring him down. Do you guys want to see that? I actually think I might have it. Just hold on one second. I want to see if he's going to stare Donna down. Hold on one second. Wait. I've got it somewhere. Yeah. Here we go. Let's see where it is. There. Okay. Look, there's Charlie Adelson when it was his trial. And he's looking very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. There's no sound on this right now. And Charlie's like, oh, crap. He sees, oh, my word, Luis Rivera is staring at me. This is uncomfortable. I don't know where to look. Wait for it. Just wait for it. It's worth it. Okay. Now, there. Look. At Charlie Adelson's trial. Staring. He's staring just about through him. So let's see if he does the same thing to Donna, huh? I mean, that's not frozen, eh? That's not paused. That's him literally staring like that. Oh, my goodness. Sure. You don't want this Latin Kings gang leader dude to be staring at you like that. He's going to be out at some point. Okay. And thank you so much for your sticker. I don't know how to say your name. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go.
Everyone can be seated. Mr. Rivera, please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, sir.
Take your seat. Please speak loudly and clearly.
Yes, sir.
You may examine.
Sir, please introduce yourself and spell your name.
Luis Rivera, UISRIVERA.
Mr. Rivera, where are you from?
I'm from Puerto Rico.
Okay, but were you living in Miami back in 2014?
Yes, ma'am.
How long did you live in Miami?
My whole life.
You were born in Puerto Rico, though?
Yeah.
Okay, but moved to Miami at what age?
2 years old.
Okay. Have you been convicted of a felony,
Yes, ma'am.
including the murder that we're here about today?
Yes, ma'am.
It's 5 felonies, sound correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're currently incarcerated?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that for this case or this case and another case?
Both. Well,
Both. So it's a federal sentence and this sentence.
In the state case.
What did you plead to in this case?
This case, guilty
Guilty to what?
to second-degree murder.
If you can speak up, Mr. Rivera, that'd be so.
Guilty to second-degree murder.
Thank you.
One moment, Mr. Rivera.
What was your sentence on the second-degree murder?
19 years.
Okay, and that was concurrent with your federal sentence, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what did you have to do in exchange for getting a 19-year sentence?
I had to cooperate.
What does cooperation mean to you?
Well, telling.
Telling on who?
My co-defenders, Garcia, Katie.
All right. Did anybody ever tell you what to say?
No, ma'am.
Has anybody ever told you anything other than to tell the truth?
No, excuse me? Say it again?
Has anybody told you to say anything other than the truth?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than the sentence that you got in exchange for cooperation?
No, ma'am.
Did anybody ever tell you, oh, you have to testify about a specific person to get a deal?
No, ma'am. Not at all.
Have you been offered anything on your federal sentence from doing this cooperation on this case?
No.
As part of your negotiation or your lawyer's negotiation of this case, did you give up what's called a proffer, a recorded proffer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And even back then when you gave the proffer, did anybody tell you what you needed to say there?
No, ma'am.
Were you hired to participate in the murder of Dan Markel?
Yes, ma'am.
Who hired you to be involved in the murder?
Well, I got it from my friend, Tato, Garcia.
Is that Sigfredo Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you know him?
Childhood friends.
So to cooperate and get this deal, you had to turn on one of your best friends.
Yes, ma'am.
Who enlisted Sigfredo Garcia to be a part of this murder?
Katie,
Who's Katie?
his wife.
Is that Katherine Magbanua?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know who enlisted her to be involved in this murder?
Not really.
Was it a murder for hire?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know that somebody was paying Katie?
Yes, ma'am.
And Katie was the one that brought the money to you all, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the purpose of this murder as you understood it?
That they wanted the kids.
Who wanted the kids?
Wendi.
Okay. And did you understand that you were killing the father of the kids so that Wendi could have the kids?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you previously referred to a dentist being involved?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was the dentist?
Charlie.
And how was he related?
Katie's boyfriend. Side piece, whatever you want to call him.
All right, so Katie was the wife of Garcia, but also the girlfriend of the dentist?
Yeah.
He's like Katie's boyfriend, side piece, whatever you want to call him. I did like that snark.
Did you have any contact with the dentist ever?
No.
Did you have any contact with any member of the Adelson family?
No, ma'am.
Everything went through Katie, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What did the dentist, if you know, have to do with the lady in Tallahassee who needed her kids?
I don't know nothing about him. I don't know nothing about that family.
Who was in charge of getting the money after the job was done?
Katie.
How much were you to be paid for your part in this crime?
$35.
$35,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know the total amount that the job paid?
No, not really.
Did you know how much Garcia got?
40, I believe.
$40,000?
Yeah.
And did you know how much Katie got?
No, I don't know. I can't remember. But I think it was like 40. I think it was, total was be like 100, something like that.
Okay. Somewhere in the neighborhood of $100,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Was it a one-time payment or was it a payment that occurred over time? Is what you got?
No, it's a one-time payment.
What did you know about the man that you came to Tallahassee to kill?
I don't know nothing about him.
How did you know who to kill?
Constituto. Garcia.
How did he know?
Katie.
Did he have some information about the man you were here to kill?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell him what that was.
I was a piece of paper with his picture on of his face and the address.
Picture of Dan Markel's face?
Yes, ma'am.
And the address of what? Where he lived?
Of his house, yes.
Did you and Rivera refer to each other? I'm sorry, you and Garcia refer to each other as brothers?
Yes, ma'am.
Moving to evidence states 45, Your Honor.
Exactly.
No, Your Honor.
States 45 is admitted.
Is that you and Mr. Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
Please silence your phone.
That was Tato and Tuto. Stare
Have you
it
ever
down.
been to Tallahassee before you came for this case, related to this case?
Never in my life.
How many times did you come to Tallahassee related to this case?
This case twice.
All right, so were you with Sigfredo Garcia both times?
Yeah,
Was that one time in June and one time in July?
I believe so.
Okay, and July was the second time was when the murder happened, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it just the two of you on both of these trips?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to clarify, I'm not like in support of this dude. I just, in the context of how he was like, okay, if I'm going down, everybody's going down, right? I mean, Sigfredo's going, Katherine Magbanua, and then whichever Adelsons were involved. So when he was staring Charlie down like that, I mean, he already didn't like Charlie because, you know, Charlie was dating Katherine Magbanua, who was his friend's ex, and Katherine Magbanua was obviously the mother of his best friend's children. Yeah, so Charlie wasn't that popular with these, but they had a job to do, which is disgusting. Okay, they went there to kill someone, so I'm not supporting this guy. I'm just like, yeah, stare her down. In the context of this trial, stare her down a little bit. Tell an Auntie Donna.
Objection states 44.
No objection.
Introduce states 44, Your Honor.
States 44 is admitted.
Publishing states 44. Who's this right here?
Garcia.
And this?
Katie.
Who's that?
My baby mama.
Your child's mother?
Yes, ma'am.
What's her name?
Jessica.
Okay, and that's you there?
Yes.
Was this picture taken before or after the murder?
I can't remember.
At the time of the murder, was Katie with the dentist? Was Katie with Garcia? Was she with both?
Both.
Were you at the time of this murder living with Jessica Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am.
There's an address on the rental car contract, 1515 Northeast 135th Street, number 14. Do you recognize that address?
That's my apartment. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the first trip that occurred in June. How did you get here for that trip?
Well, we rented a car.
Who rented the car for the June trip?
The first one,
Yeah, if you remember.
I can't really remember. Been so long.
But one of you, either you or Sigfredo?
Yeah, I think it was Sigfredo. I rented the Prius, so I never rented on the truck.
Okay. So Garcia rented the car for the June trip, but it was a rental car that y'all brought up here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did you take the same route on both trips to get to Tallahassee?
Shit, I don't remember.
Okay, and did he have the paper with the picture of Dan Markel on both trips?
Yes.
And what did you do on the first trip?
We drove by here and we just followed him around to see where he lived and shit. But
Okay, were you planning to kill him on the first trip?
I don't remember.
Okay,
Damn, imagine the court reporter. See where we live and shit. When he replied, shit, I don't know. Okay, they're just typing that all out like, okay. True Crime with the Sarge is here. Thank you for saying hi to us here. If you don't know who True Crime with the Sarge is, where have you been? Check out his channel sometime, right? Okay, back to
did you have a gun on the first trip?
Yeah.
Did you have a gun that you procured specifically to kill Dan Markel with?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that a gun that you bought off the street?
Yes, ma'am.
You bought it.
I bought it.
Okay. And were there any other guns in the vehicle for that first trip, if you know?
I think we had two.
All right. And what was the other gun?
It's a 38.
Whose gun was that?
Garcia.
On that first trip in June of 2014, did you and Garcia go to Markel's residence?
Yeah.
And did you lay eyes on him that first trip?
I believe I passed by his house and scoped him out.
You said you followed him. Do you remember where you followed him on the first trip?
Yeah, I followed him to a daycare.
Okay. How long were you here that first trip?
Maybe I don't remember.
A couple days sound right?
Just a couple of days.
Why wasn't Dan Markel killed on that first trip, if you know?
If I remember, I wasn't gonna do nothing in front of no kids. But
He had the kids with him,
yeah, yes, he did.
but for whatever reason, it didn't happen on that trip.
We lost him. I believe we lost him.
Okay.
I mean, that is so scary. Do you think they already went once a few weeks prior and planned to kill Dan Markel then, but then they saw him with his kids, and then he says, I believe that we lost him. Wow, so if you saw him with his kid, that didn't change your mind at all? No, obviously not, because, you know, he was in it for the money, but, he also thought, well, this other lady that he doesn't know wants to get her kids back, so okay, but I mean, how could you do that? How could you, as a dad, do that? I think he's a dad. Does he have kids of his own? I know the other dude does. Tato, does he have children? I can't remember. But anyway, he said baby mama, so he must have at least one. How could you take out a dad? Like you're looking at a father with his boys? Wow. Because some lady wants her kids back? This is crazy.
And when you didn't get it done on that trip, was anyone angry at you?
At me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
All right. Did you hear at some point that y'all were going to have to come back if you wanted to get the money and finish the job?
Yeah.
All right. So you did come back in July. Is that right?
We came back.
And that's when you came in the Prius.
Yes, ma'am.
And you rented the Prius, right?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay.
In his name.
And that phone number that you wrote on the Prius rental agreement and wrote brother, that was Garcia's phone number?
Yeah, I think.
You took phones with you to Tallahassee for both trips, right?
Yeah.
Did you turn your phone off for the actual murder?
Yeah, I did.
What about Garcia? Do you know if he turned his phone off?
When the murder happened?
Yes, sir.
Shit. Man, I don't remember.
Okay. Did you stay in Tallahassee for a couple nights when you came here the second time?
Yeah, Yeah, we stayed there for a night or two, I think.
Okay, did y'all rent a hotel room?
Yes.
Do you know how many guns were with you on that second trip?
Nah, just one.
You only remember one gun on that trip?
Yeah, I remember one.
And that's the murder weapon?
Yes, ma'am.
The one you bought on the street?
Yes, ma'am.
What type of gun was that?
A 38?
That's a revolver?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember an incident where there was a shot fired into the floorboard of the Prius?
Yes.
Could you tell the jurors about that?
Well, we was driving and Garcia put the gun out and shot the gas line in the car.
Through the floorboard of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Passenger side or driver's side?
Passenger side.
Okay, and that was the murder weapon that fired that shot?
Shit. Man, I don't remember.
Okay, but he was messing around with some gun and fired it into the car.
Yeah.
And were y'all driving in the car when that happened?
Yes, ma'am.
And did it disable the car?
It's, the car started stopping. Little by little, it just started slowing down.
Okay, and that's the Prius, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How did y'all get the car going again?
We seen somebody that he knew and stopped him and took him to the auto place to get a piece of hose to put it back together.
And the guy that you saw that he knew, are you talking about a local drug dealer here that y'all had met on the first trip?
Yes, ma'am.
And that person assisted you in getting some way to fix the car?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was good with cars, you or Garcia or both?
Garcia.
All right, so he was able to make a repair to the gas line?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you follow Dan Markel again during this second trip?
Yeah.
Did you follow him to the daycare?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you actually see him drop his children off at school that morning?
Absolutely, yes.
Did you follow him to the gym where he went inside and worked out?
Yes, ma'am.
So they followed him. They saw Dan Markel, a father of 2 boys, dropping off his kids, meaning seeing them for the last time, and they knew it. They being Luis Rivera and his buddy, the triggerman, Sigfredo Garcia. You're watching this dad say bye to his kids for the last time. You know that. He's there for money. He's there for a job. That is just, it's just, you can't imagine it. You can't imagine that people can not only think up all of this, and I mean all the people involved. Wow, and it's many people involved. You know? These two, Luis Rivera, Sigfredo Garcia, Katherine Magbanua, Charlie Adelson. Here we've got Donna on trial. That's already 5 people. What? You're going to see this dad drop off his kids and be like, yeah, say bye to your kids. You'll never see them again. That's just crazy. And then watch him go to gym, prowl around. Oh, no. True crime with the Sarge. My goodness. Thank you for your sticker, for your super chat. I really appreciate it. Look at the little lemon.
Is there a reason the murder had to be done on the day that it was done?
I believe so. I believe he was about to leave.
Who was about to leave?
Markel.
About to leave town?
Yeah.
How did you get that information?
I got it from Tato.
Where did he get the information?
From Katie.
How did she know?
Wendi.
You think Wendi talked to Katie and told her Dan Markel's travel plans?
Yeah.
Were you present for that
No.
phone call? Okay.
Oh, he said Wendi. He didn't say Charlie. Oh, you went from Sigfredo to Katherine Magbanua to Wendi. Well, that just got interesting. My goodness. And they say Dan Markel was going to leave town soon. But also, remember that Donna had arranged for someone to fix Wendy's TV that day. That very same morning. Okay? So this was the day.
Okay. But somehow you learned that Dan Markel was leaving town the day after he was killed.
Yes, ma'am.
So it had to be done that day or he'd be gone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that came through Garcia to you from Katie.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you say Wendi, did you know who Wendi was at the time that all this happened?
No, ma'am.
Okay, but you did know there was a lady that you were helping get some kids back in Tallahassee.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were you the driver of the green Prius?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had a chance to see the gym video and the bus video?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you driving the Prius in those videos?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened when you got to the driveway of Dan Markel?
Well, I pulled up right behind him, and Garcia jumped out and shot him.
How many times did Garcia shoot Mr.
Twice.
Markel? Did he shoot him? Where was the victim when he was shot?
He was inside his parking garage, and is sitting down the driver's side on the phone
And did Garcia shoot him through the window, if you know?
through the window.
How long would you say you were in the driveway?
Just seconds.
And that makes sense because the detective that testified right before this said that they can narrow down the time frame in which Dan Markel was shot was between 10:51 and 10:55 a.m. Just those 4 minutes. They narrowed it down to that based on the surveillance footage that they had found, right? And that was on July 18th of 2014. Wow. So he's like, just seconds. Just seconds and someone's life was not yet taken, but taken in the end. He succumbed to his injuries, but shot him through the window, shot twice. And Dan Markel died approximately 14 hours later.
How was it decided which one of you would be the shooter?
Because I wasn't going to do it.
You didn't want to be the shooter?
No.
On the bus video,
But you're willing to be the getaway driver, you're willing to go there, you're willing to go through with all of this, you want the money. But he doesn't want to, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh my goodness, you're still part of it, dude, that's why. If he didn't take a plea deal, he would also have had LWOP, right? Life without parole. For those asking if Wendy's there, yeah, she is expected to testify, but I don't know if she's going to be able to today because the judge said they go to her around 5:30. Right now, if you're watching live with me, if you're watching from the future, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching live with me, it's 4:30 local time. And Wendi is apparently sitting there in the hallway waiting for the state to call her to testify, wearing a different outfit at this trial. She's heard the internet speak about her same outfit choices. Decided to switch it up.
we see somebody in a white shirt kind of jumping around in the passenger seat. Is that Mr. Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember what was happening when he was doing all that jumping around?
I think he was trying to hide a gun. If I'm not mistaken, he was trying to hide it.
What did happen to the gun?
It got thrown away
Thrown away where?
in the ocean somewhere.
All right, who threw it in the ocean somewhere?
He did.
All right, was that on the way back to Miami?
Yes, ma'am.
At some overpass somewhere between here and Miami?
Absolutely.
Where did you go after the murder? Did you go home?
We had to stop somewhere to eat. Then we went home.
Did you stop at an ATM?
These people. We just went to go, kill a man, father of two. Some guy we didn't even know. And then we went to get something to eat. What? Like, had a bite to eat. Got rid of the gun, had a bite to eat. It's very hard to imagine being like this. It's terrible. And just said, just like that. What did you do next? Got rid of the gun. Got something to eat. Yeah. Wow. They never found the gun.
I don't remember.
I'm going to show you states exhibits 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, and 43. So 38 through 43.
Yes, ma'am.
Are these images fair and accurate photos of you pulling through an ATM?
Yes, ma'am.
And the date, July 18th, 2014?
Yes, ma'am.
Pembroke Pines, is that on the way home from Tallahassee?
Yeah.
So that's you at the ATM. Are you the driver?
Yes, ma'am.
And who's that in the passenger seat?
Garcia.
Move to publish introduce states 38 through 43.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 38 through 43 are admitted.
May I publish?
You may.
Is that the vehicle you were driving the day the murder was done, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Publishing 39. Is that you at the ATM machine?
Yes, ma'am.
States Exhibit 40. Is this Mr. Garcia? Is he your passenger?
Yes, ma'am.
States Exhibit 41. He's the passenger that was jumping around when we saw the car in Tallahassee on the bus video?
Absolutely.
Do you remember when you turned your phone back on after the murder?
Not really.
Do you remember who was the first phone call that either of you made after the murder?
Garcia.
Who did Garcia call?
Katie.
And were you able to hear Katie on the other end of the line when he was talking to her?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you interested in that phone call?
Yes, ma'am.
Because she was going to be the one to get you the money, right?
Absolutely.
And was that phone call in reference to letting her know it's done and she's going to get the money?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you get the money?
Saturday morning.
Was that the next day?
The next day.
And had it been freshly washed and stapled for you by Donna Adelson? Apparently so. A rock and roller said, gee, I absolutely love your channel. I hate watching trials by myself and love that we have a strong knit family here. I don't like watching it by myself either. I love watching trials with all of you. So thank you for being here.
Do you remember that on that Saturday morning you got a call from Katherine Magbanua?
Yes.
She was looking for you to give you the money, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that unusual for her to call you?
Not really. She never calls my phone.
She never calls your phone, but she couldn't get a hold of Garcia,
She
right?
couldn't get a hold of him, so she got in contact with me.
Okay. And at that time, wasn't Garcia living with another woman?
Yes.
And that was the woman that goes by the nickname Shrimp?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's where you ended up rousting him out of, right?
Absolutely.
To go get your money, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so he wasn't living with Katie as a family at that time.
Nope.
Okay. So when you say that Katie was with both of them, do you mean just that Katie was always kind of off and on with Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
So she has other boyfriends, sometimes he has other girlfriends, but they always find each other again?
Absolutely.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
Someone says, she says shrimp? Yeah. Nickname of the girlfriend of Sigfredo Garcia. Okay, so Dan Markel was shot twice on July 18th of 2014, which was a Friday. That night, Katherine Magbanua went to, that would be this guy's best friend, former best friend, ex-best friend, Sigfredo Garcia's baby mama, because they weren't dating at the time, right? Okay, wait, we need the chart again. We need the chart. Damn it. Not that. That's not the chart. That's Wendi. That's Wendi still waiting to testify. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that night when Dan Markel was still fighting for his life, because, you know, he died like 14 hours after being shot or so, Katherine Magbanua went to Charlie's house because she was dating him, and he had money to give her, which she was then going to give to these other two idiots. And where did he get the money? Oh, well, allegedly his mother. His mommy dropped off the money. Freshly laundered, apparently washed. Apparently it was a little moldy, little bit washed. And stapled, $100 bills in stacks of $1,000. Okay. And she actually, Katherine Magbanua, slept at Charlie Adelson's house that night. So yeah, when he went at his trial, oh man, the things he was making up about her and that whole thing, and that she was trying to extort him, but he didn't know it. Oh my word. She said he was acting crazy. He had a gun. He was freaking out. His mom had dropped off money. Harvey had driven the mom there apparently. So that's why we ask questions. But yeah, this is, it's just so sickening to think that Dan was shot twice in the head, fighting for his life. this one and his friend went to eat something. Throw away the gun, go eat something, wait for the money. Katherine Magbanua, if you look at all the parallel lives, oh, she's like going to sleep over at Charlie's house. They taking Xanax and relaxing, you know, and then having a good night's rest. And then the next day, Katherine's taking the money to her contacts. Okay, moving on.
All right, tell us what happened when you got your money. How'd you get it? Where'd you get it?
I was in a barbershop, and they pulled up to my house, Katie and Garcia, and they called my phone. They, I think my baby mama called me. Well, they came to my house.
Okay, Katie and Garcia brought the money.
Yeah, I was in a barbershop, and
Okay.
Katie and Garcia, they went to my house and brought the money.
All right, and do you know where Katie got the money from? Were you there when Katie got the money?
No,
But you knew that she was supposed to go get it,
absolutely.
and she did.
Yes, ma'am.
How much did you get?
35.
Was there anything unusual about how your payment was packaged?
Yeah, it was weird. It was stapled. Never
Was it
seen that
cash
before.
money?
Cash.
Okay,
hundreds.
stapled how? All hundreds.
Hundreds, $1,000 stapled.
Stapled into bundles of $1,000 each.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever seen stapled money before?
No.
Did you and Garcia buy anything with your cut of the money?
I just bought a motorcycle.
Any objection to 46 and 47? No objection. Move into evidence 46 and 47, Your Honor.
No objection to the defense.
No objection.
They are admitted.
Publishing States Exhibit 46. This yellow motorcycle, whose is that?
Garcia.
Is that something he bought with the money that was the proceeds of this murder?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what about this vehicle back here?
Yeah, he bought that one too.
He also bought that with his cut of the money?
Yeah.
And States Exhibit 47, what about this motorcycle right here?
That's mine.
Is that what you bought, or part of what you bought with your money?
Yes, ma'am.
My word, they're so dumb. You know, I'm glad there's dumb criminals because then they get caught, of course. But they're so dumb. They're like, woohoo, we got money for the hit. Let's buy ourselves motorcycles, cars. I mean, Katherine Magbanua was like, yes, let's get a boob job. And a Lexus. And, you know, what she got from the Adelsons for $1,700 and all of that. Just to clarify, remember that Tato on the stand over here, Rivera, said, we like the snark, that Charlie Adelson was a side piece of Katherine Magbanua. So they weren't like, it wasn't like Katherine and Charlie were like an item at the time. But I think he was a side piece, Charlie, you know. Okay, so let's keep going with this.
How long after the murder did you guys make those purchases? Days, weeks, months?
Probably like a month.
Days, weeks, months, hours? I mean, if they could just throw the gun away and go for a meal, and then, I don't know what. Hours? When did you buy the motorcycle? That day. I wouldn't be surprised. But okay, you said maybe a couple of months or whatever.
Did you make any changes to your cell phone after the murder? Did you dump your cell phone?
I don't remember.
Did you meet with Investigator Newland from my office to see if you could recognize some voices on some recorded telephone calls?
Yes, ma'am.
And did Mr. Newland play some calls for you and have you initial on a sheet if you could identify the voice
Absolutely.
on the sheet on that call?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. States Exhibit 136. Is it? I'm going to show you what I have marked as States Exhibit 136. Yes. recognize this exhibit?
Yes, ma'am.
And are these your initials here?
Yes, ma'am.
And does that mean you're verifying that the highlighted name, you know that person and that is their voice
Absolutely.
on the particular call that referenced?
Yes.
Judge, at this time I'd ask to move into evidence 136.
Objection. Case 136, Linda.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
Adam Bluefire said, there is zero difference. Sorry to pause you like that. Wait. Okay, yeah. There is zero difference between all 5 of these defendants. All dirty, all with zero empathy, zero morals, zero scruples. Yeah, I agree. Also, somebody asked, sorry, where's your question now? There we go. Lady Webb said, do we know how the police got onto these guys? The neighbor had seen, you know, the flash of a car, meaning like a silverish car when Dan Markel was shot and the car was speeding away. So they had that, and then they did a cell phone tower search for all the cell phones that were in the area at the time and where Dan Markel was going, which was also at the Premier Gym, first dropping his boys off at preschool, then going to the gym, and then at his house. And they saw, why? There's like a number here that's a Miami number. And then they thought to themselves, didn't Dan Markel's ex-wife, Wendi, isn't that the whole thing that like their divorce when they investigated that, this contentious divorce, which would be a red flag. They're looking at her first. I don't know if I'm sure many of you have seen her police video interview. If not, go check it out. That's your homework for the weekend. Get ourselves ready for probably Monday when she takes the stand. She's testified as well, right, at these trials. But yeah, they were just like, didn't Wendi want to move to like Miami, South Florida? Now, why are these guys, who's this from Miami? And so they follow the trail like that. The digital forensics evidence in this case is very interesting between the cell phone tower dumps and the emails, the calls, the wiretapping, the bump, all of that gets very interesting. So I hope I answered that okay. It's difficult to summarize. Did I summarize it okay? I hope so. True crime degenerate says, why would Wendi go by the crime scene? Because she was buying bourbon, okay?
Did you know where the
Coincidence,
dentist
huh?
lived?
Nope.
Did you know that the dentist had a safe full of money?
Nope.
Did you know that the dentist was going to be paying for at least part of this murder?
No.
And if you had known that the dentist had a safe full of money, would you have driven all the way to Tallahassee to do the murder to then get the money?
No.
What would have been a better idea?
Speculation.
Overall, he has knowledge of his own actions and what he was thinking at the time.
Well,
Answer the question.
What would you have preferred to do to get the money?
I went and robbed them myself.
Did you suggest to Garcia on the way up to Tallahassee
Makes
that y'all
sense.
could just go to whoever had the money and rob them instead of doing this murder?
I had mentioned something like that, yes.
But that,
I think that would have been a better plan. Don't you think so? These two gangsters, don't just go rob them. That would make sense.
Garcia said that wouldn't work, right?
No.
Nothing further.
Cross-examination.
They might latch on to that he's the defense now, that he said that they had to commit the murder on that day because Dan Markel was going to be leaving town soon, and they got that information from Wendi. He said that Katie got the information from Wendi. He didn't say Donna, he didn't say Charlie, so that, I don't know. I wonder if the defense is going to... Yeah, Donna, give them ideas. Say Wendi. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Angela Cross. Do you know who Donna is? Yeah, question 1. Yep, M. Spacebird said scary, he'll get parole one day. Wendi will testify. I just don't know if she will testify today. She's out in the hallway waiting, but it's almost 5 o'clock. Yeah, she's not going to testify today. We're a few minutes behind. We've got just cross-examination to go. Ooh, I can't wait for Monday.
Good afternoon, Mr. Garcia.
Excuse me?
I said good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just want to make sure I understood your testimony. It was your testimony that the first trip you came up on, you scoped out Mr. Markel's house, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that he was going to be taking his kids to school, so when he came out with the kids, you're trying to follow him to the school, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you got lost. He lost you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the second time that you came up, you knew he was going to be taking the children to school, and so you followed him to the school, correct?
The daycare, yes.
Yes. And then you knew he was going to be going to the gym, right?
I didn't know he was going to the gym. I just followed him.
You followed him to the gym.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you followed him to his house.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's where he was killed.
Yes, ma'am.
And the woman who wanted him to be killed, past you and Sigfredo and Katie, the woman who wanted him to be killed was Wendi Adelson, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
It was she wanting her children, correct?
Absolutely.
See? They're going to latch on to Wendi. Damn, Donna and her defense would really just throw her whole family under the bus. Harvey, Wendi, Charlie. I understand the Charlie angle. That makes sense because he's already serving life without parole. But I think that if Charlie takes the stand, he's still going to do his best for his mother, you know?
May I approach your
Somebody says, who's Mr. Garcia? Mr. Garcia is Luis Rivera's former best friend, childhood friend. Mr. Garcia is Sigfredo Garcia, who pulled the trigger on Dan Markel. But Luis Rivera was driving the vehicle, and Luis Rivera bought the gun. Luis Rivera was a leader of the Latin Kings gang. When I say leader, I think it's in his area. I think, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's like different leaders in different areas, and in the area where he stayed, he was the leader. Not that that had too much to do with it, except for connections and, you know, buying the gun off the street and the things that they said, but that's who Mr. Garcia is. When they ask Luis Tato Rivera about Mr. Garcia, they're asking about his former bestie, like your friend. What did he do and what did he say and all of that, right? Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Wait, one more thing. Didn't you love it when the defense attorney is like, good afternoon, Mr. Rivera, and he's like, excuse me? Like, excuse me? Like, what did you say to me? Defense attorney, good afternoon? He's like, okay, good afternoon.
Garcia, I'm going to show you what
Mr. Rivera.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I apologize.
He
Mr.
says that's
Rivera,
twice
I'm going
now.
to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 50. Could you take a look at that and tell me if you recognize that?
Yeah.
And what is that?
It's like a profile of everybody's face.
Okay. And did you make some marks on this for me and then sign it on March the 11th of 2025?
Yes, I did.
You just hold on to that for a second. Mr. Rivera, when we met with you that day taking your deposition and I presented that to you, you gave us information about what had happened, pretty similar to what you talked about here today, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And when we were done talking about those things and some information about Sigfredo and Katie, I presented you with what's in front of you as Defendant's Exhibit 50, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And I asked if you would put the number 1 and circle it next to the person you know as Katie, who you said was in charge of this whole deal, correct?
Yep.
And did you do that?
Yep.
All right. And then I said, would you put a number 2 next to the person you say did this killing?
Yes.
And you did that, correct?
Yes, I did.
And that was Sigfredo Garcia.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one was Katherine Magbanua, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I said, would you put a number 3 next to yourself on the paper? And did you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're the one who got the gun that was used to kill Danny Markel, and you drove the car that day. You didn't shoot him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then I said, if you would, please put the number 4 next to the man who was killed, and you did that with Danny Markel, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I said, if you would, put the number 5 next to the lady that wanted the man killed. And did you do that?
Yes, I did.
And was that with Wendi Adelson?
Yes, I did.
And then I asked you if the 2 people on the top of the page who have their pictures there and the names Donna Adelson and Harvey Adelson, you see those on the top?
Yes, ma'am.
I asked you, as far as you know, were they involved in any of this? And you said no, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So I asked you to put X's next to the people who on that page were not involved in this.
Yes, ma'am.
And you did.
Interesting. They're really going for Wendi in this trial on day 1, hey? Charlie said, sorry, did my coffee for you come through? I got 1 anonymous coffee and 1 from Marty. So thank you so much. If one of those was you, thank you very much. And thank you to the someone, and thank you to Marty.
Did that.
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Just one moment, Your Honor.
Take your time.
Oh, this is interesting today. So you follow that, right? Like, put a number on the trigger man. Put a number on, the victim. Put a number on who you are, number 3. And then put a number on, and all of that, and all the people that he thought, was involved in the murder of Dan Markel. And he says it's Wendi that wanted. This is new. We haven't heard this before, right? He says that Wendi wanted Dan Markel dead, her ex-husband, the father of her children. And now they said, the defense says, so you put like X's on the people's photos who were not involved, and those photos were apparently Harvey and Donna Adelson.
I don't have anything further.
Redirect examination.
No, Your Honor.
Is Mr. Rivera released, or will he be recalled?
He's to remain under the rule, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Rivera, please do not discuss your testimony with anyone else. The bailiff will take you at this time.
Okay, Tato. Tato, not Tato.
Parties can approach.
GOD said, you've been a member for 32 months, and you said, well, tight-knit family concept goes out the window when stakes are high, huh? It's getting very interesting. Donna likes, it looks like Donna likes Tato's testimony. Yes. See, he put on the page that I wasn't involved, but he didn't even know Dan Markel. He was friends with Sigfredo Garcia, the trigger man. He was driving the vehicle. And Sigfredo was the ex of Katherine Magbanua. So this guy didn't know even the victims. Does his chart really help? I don't know, but it is interesting nonetheless. Harvey's probably feeling happy. See, he said I'm not involved.
The jury, at this time, we are going to go into recess for the day. The same instruction that you have received since the start of jury selection, not to discuss the case with anyone else or to look at any information about the case. Once again, I'm going to remind you of this. Please report on Monday morning at 8:45. We will anticipate getting started by 9 o'clock. Enjoy your weekend. We will see you Monday.
Judge, before they step out, may we touch on one other item?
Yes.
Shame. Oh, Donna, look at that. That was hectic. That was a wild day, Donna. That was one wild day. Right? I think we saw, what, 6 witnesses today? We had 4 before lunch. Craig and Lewis. Wait. Yeah, I think we've had 6 witnesses testify so far, including Lewis Rivera. Wendi Adelson up next. Not today, though. They ran out of time for that one. Which I'm kind of glad that they don't have to split that up now between Friday and Monday. Put her on the stand on Monday. She could be there all day. She'll probably be there the whole morning. And it's going to be interesting. She'll probably be there the whole day on Monday if I had to guess. Somebody's asking, Emmy, is Wendi in custody? Not at all. But people want it to be. People think she might be one day. Cooper's mom said, is Wendi going to testify at this trial? Yes, for the state, under some form of protection. Not for the defense, though, because they could not grant her derivative immunity. If you want to know all the legalese around that, there is a show that I did with Josh Ritter, a criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor, and that was just a few days ago. It's on the playlist as well, and he explained it, like all of it. So go check that out, because we were all wondering, what does it mean? Who will Wendi testify for, and when, and how, and what type of protection does she have, and could she ever get arrested? All those questions. We picked Josh's legal mind, and so go check that show out if you haven't seen it. Sure. She sure can stare as well, hey? Hello, Donna. She's looking at us now. Imagine if in her earphone she's listening to us all day. Oh my. She sure stopped her morning alleged emotional performance. Huh? Look at this chair. Everyone always comments on the judge's chair, but it really is a nice chair, hey? Look at it. Ed said Wendi on the stand will be must-watch TV. Yes, it will be.
Members of the jury, actually, please report at 9:15, and by the time everyone has reported, we'll expect to get going with the trial by 9:30. Have a good weekend. Once again, do not discuss the case. Do not read or seek out any information about the case. Have a good night.
Okay. Yeah, Donna, look at Donna looking at the jury. Guys. I mean, yeah, her fate is in their hands. That's why she's got the little cardigan on. What do you think of her demeanor today? Let me know in the comments below as well. I'd love to read your comments. Amy Brady said, gee, yeah, but now Wendi can look up the testimony from
the witness is here this afternoon.
From the trial today and prepare. Yeah, but she's not supposed to. And she's a lawyer, and she should know.
To start that, or you need to do that on Monday morning?
I can start that this afternoon, Judge. We're just not prepared to go through the whole thing yet. We've been working on it since the issue arose. And I was told we're about halfway through, about 10 minutes ago, so.
All right. If we can start at 8:30, have the witness, and go through it smoothly, it'll give everyone an opportunity to get some rest for the weekend. Do you all prefer to do it that way?
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Judge, I did fail to introduce one of the ATM still images, Safety Exhibit 37. Would it be acceptable to move to admit this time?
If you're relying on the same foundation provided by Mr. Rivera, unless there's an objection.
No objection.
There you are. States 37 is admitted. briefly before we leave today, just to go through what has been admitted and has not. It cannot hurt. I have on my chart state exhibits 1 through 34 as admitted, 37 through 47 admitted, 55 admitted, 67 and 68 admitted, 64 admitted with the exception of AA, 88, 89, and 90 admitted, 119 through 128, 119, 120, 122, 123, 124, 126, 127, and 128, and 136.
Was one missing between 119 and 128, Your Honor?
On my list, I have 119, 120, 122, 123, 124. I believe there was testimony from Miss Maltese about the eyeglass frame and the car, but I'm not sure if 121 was admitted.
What happened, Judge, is Ms. Katherine said that that's what she was requesting, but then when she said, I'd like to admit State's exhibit, it was 122 and 123.
So I will move 121 into evidence at this time, Judge.
Is there an objection?
No objection.
And after 128, Your Honor, you showed what else?
After 128,
136.
136, and that's it.
That matches my list. Now we have a demonstrative A and a demonstrative D, which have been used to
Yes.
advise the court no longer accepts demonstratives. Would you like to make those items court exhibits for appellate purposes?
Yes. And the foundation for 60 is ongoing at this point, also as to 64 AA. All right. 8:30 on Monday morning, we will go through any predicate or foundations that need to be addressed prior to the next witness. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Come on, tell us the next witness is Wendi. We know she was in the hallway waiting to testify today. And now she's going back home, going like, oh crap, I didn't testify yet. You're going on Monday though. So, I see people are saying, this was a good-ish day for Donna. It's going to get so much worse though when they bring out the actual lots of evidence, the emails, the money, just follow the money, the emails, the jail calls, all of that. There's still a lot that we will see in this trial. Thank you so much for watching day 1 with me. It's actually technically day 4, you know what I mean? But whenever it's opening statements, I call it day 1, okay? Because, there were 3 days of jury selection. So anyway, thanks for watching opening statements and the state's first witnesses with me. I really look forward to continuing to watch this trial with you on Monday, probably in our regular DFLA format, which is very difficult to do in this trial, but it's worth it so we can skip over lunch. It's worth the wait. So I will probably see you this weekend, though, for other cases and other things. Thank you for all your emails, all your support. Mods, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And leave your comments below. I really want to know, what did you think of today? What did you think of the testimony? What did you think of Donna's demeanor? I mean, I think that her attorneys had a talking to her in the break, stop doing that. Stop being so emotional in the courtroom. It's unprofessional. Stop manipulating the jury. Just hold yourself together, woman. Grizzly Cat says thank you. Thank you, Grizzly Cat, for all the documents. And everyone, I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, stay safe.